What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Tiege Hanley because you see how the sun is hitting me. This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Tiege Hanley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people when I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self-care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Million and More Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's happening, y'all? How y'all feel? Life is good? So. Great, not so great. What's y'all sentiment after this weekend? How do y'all feel about how things are going, life, all of that? What's happening, y'all? AC reviews the world. What's up, my brother? K Cooper said good morning to the Chasers. Keita is in the building. Did y'all get y'all notifications from Patreon? Did y'all get y'all notifications from Patreon? The Schuster speaks. What up, though? What up to my Detroit brethren? Mo Hustles, DJ Ace, Yakar, K Cooper, Banks, Zeroyce, Rod on Politics, Courtney Yeager, Ray Black, Andrew, Trini Life, Enos, Past Cybersecurity in the billion says upward and onward. Chris Cunningham, Treese, Loso Way, Marcus. It could be a hell of a lot worse. Almost done cooking lunch in 1 or 2 minutes. Got Flavor in the building. Anton is the role model, says Jay. Shander, Vanessa said, I did. Island Styley, I see you. Connie Harris, Mr. 43TX, Peter Investor, King Manasseh, Treese, AWOL, Avenue, DM, Chasing 10 says, hell yes, you can't wait to learn more game from you. All right, so y'all got y'all notifications. Good. Good. No complaints. Yes, can't wait. Tiege is in the mailbox. Have y'all got y'all Tiege Hanley 40% off your first order, 20% off for life? Yeah. Woke up blessed, have health and strength. You know what? I echo that sentiment. I don't usually bring up people that don't have a profile picture because it almost is like they don't exist. But in this instance, I echo that sentiment. I too woke up feeling like I'm blessed because I have my health and my strength. And a lot of that comes from approvals. What does Anton mean by approvals? We got an interesting show today. We got to cover like 8 topics today. 8 topics, all right? We're going to get into that. A lot of that comes from approval. First class mail approvals. So a lot of y'all may know that I upped my insurance policy and I changed my doctors, right? And one of the reasons that is because now I have a concierge doctor. And in that concierge doctor, wait a minute, don't want to be showing all of that right away. In that concierge doctor, they come to you. And so they come to you and they go and do all of the tests and stuff. And so, first of all, let me just say that I encourage you guys to go to the doctor. Ladies and gentlemen, especially my men, especially my guys, make sure that you go to the doctor. And the reason that you want to go to the doctor is because you want to make sure that you live a long, healthy life. So I've been on this journey where I'm absolutely just on it. I'm on it 1,000%. And so you got the State Farm policy right there. All right. And since I upped my policy so much, they came to my office. My concierge doctor came to my office. State Farm people sent some people to my office and they said, we got to test you. We got to do EKGs. We got to do blood work, urine samples. We need to test and see if you smoke. We need to see if you got, they did a full panel on me. I didn't know that. Did y'all know that? Did you guys know that if you up your life insurance past like $5 million, I don't know what the threshold is, but if it goes above 5 million, I know for a fact they have to do a full panel on you because they want to know if you got hepatitis. They want to know if you got HIV. They want to know if you got the clap. They want to know if you got herpes. They want to know if you got AIDS. They want to know everything. You got to get better on that. Get on that, King Manasseh. So anyways, so obviously they approve my policy or whatever, but they also send you everything. They send you your blood work. They send you everything. They send you all of the exam results. It's such a beautiful thing because maybe I should screenshot this because it got too much information on here. It got my policy number on here, got one of my addresses on here, all of that. So they send you everything. I mean, hepatitis C antibody negative, HIV blood negative, full panel, you on point, Time Dog. I said, look how much I don't have to worry about what everybody else got to worry about. You know what I'm saying? Look at how I don't have to worry about what everybody else is worrying about. It's a blessing, bro. And it just helped me to realize something, right? It helped me to realize that I am in rare territory. I was looking at some information the other day and it said that probably close to half, if not more than one half, closer to 2/3 of people. Yeah, they want to know your risk. They say closer to 2/3 of people. See that? HIV blood negative? Yeah. Shout out to everybody that ain't out here worried about whether or not they got the have. Let me give y'all a round of applause on that one. Worried about whether or not y'all got the have. I want to know this. This is what I want to know before we get started with the show. How many of y'all done had a full panel? How many of y'all can go out there and say, I don't have the hepatitis, I don't have the herpes, I don't have the syphilis, I don't have the HIV to the V? No Magic Johnson special for me? Nah, we gonna go ahead and we gonna go ahead and bypass the Magic Johnson special. I think this should be framed. This should be framed. Listen, bro, we have gotten to a time in life. We have gotten to a space in life where if you don't have no diseases, you like a high value man. We have gotten to a space in life where if you don't have no diseases, and see, this is the beauty of being a responsible adult. This is the beauty. This is the beauty of being a responsible adult. See, we don't have these grown folks conversations no more. Everybody act like they ain't got no disease. Everybody act like they ain't did nothing. I don't usually get a full panel. I don't, because I don't do nothing. You know how they say, Anton, you a lame. You ain't sleep with all of the hoes when you was younger. Facts. Agreed. Facts. I agree. Anton, you a lame. You ain't been in these streets. You ain't been out here doing with all of this or whatever. Facts. 100% I agree. 100%. Blood sugar, perfect. A1C, perfect. Everything, cholesterol, perfect. What else has got on it? Let's see what else it's got. Creatine, perfect. They got a bunch of other stuff on here. Triglycerides on top of it. I don't even know what some of this stuff mean, bro. Cholesterol, perfect. Shunka's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. And I'm very proud of this. Of all of the things that we need to be flaunting, of all of the, you know that they actually sent me a refund check because they felt like they was charging me too much for my life insurance. I don't usually get a full panel because I don't do anything. And you know how they always be like, oh man, you know, these streets is like this or whatever, so on and so forth. I don't have that problem. I don't have the problem. It's unfortunate. So listen, did they check for the cooties? I look like it. They did everything. They sent the same people that checked for the Detroit Lions. He was telling me all of the stories that was in there. So listen. I will say this. For all of you, all jokes aside, and we about to get into the show. We got a long show to get into. For all of you that feel like you got to give in to the pressures of the world, and this is especially for the young girls and for the young guys, because women are more susceptible to the diseases that men are giving to them and inserting into them. And it's just so much easier. It's so much nicer to never have to worry about. I just glide through life, you know? It's better on this side. It's better when they call you a lame. Usually when people in the black community or people that are younger than you, they say that you this or they say that you that, you tend to live longer. You have a better life expectancy. You have a more full life. You don't have as many worries. You don't have as much stress. You know, now, all I got to do is focus on leveling up and making sure that I really get into the physical fitness that I really should be at. And so now that will be my next goal. That will be my next goal. Let me tell you something. Take care of yourselves. Part of taking care of yourself is making sure that the people that are supposed to be in your life are the people that are in your life. You ain't got to be for everybody. You ain't got to knock down all of them. All you got to do is find the people that's supposed to be in your circle. And I'm not just talking about relationships. I'm talking about health, mental health, financial health, physical health, right? All of these things are going to be important to you, and it's going to be more important. The decisions that you make in your 20s, you're going to have to pay for those when you get in your 40s and your 50s and even your 30s and your 60s and your 70s. And I was actually showing my results because I let my daughter open up the envelope and she was like, Dad, what does this negative mean? What does this negative mean? I said, oh, that's a good thing. That means that you don't have it. She was cracking up. And she was just like, yo, you know, people in my school be doing this and that and this and that. I don't have to live with that. And then Rita was like, I'm not even sure that people care anymore now that they taking all of these medicines in order to try to reduce their viral load count and all of that because she into the health stuff. And I said, I care. I care. I care. I don't want to take any medicines. I don't want to have to take any kind of HIV reduction viral load count. I ain't trying to be out here having no uncomfortable. Hey, so yeah, they said I can't get the health insurance at the rate that I wanted it because uh, it's not negative. What's not negative? It's not negative. I don't want to have those conversations. I want to be the example that my daughter would look for as far as how it is that she would seek a person or be identifying a person that is similar to her father and her husband. I don't have that time. I ain't got time for that, bro. I don't got time for that. So you can call me a lame. I ain't never been to prison, so I ain't got to worry about my boy butt taken. I ain't got to worry about nothing that come into my life. I'm focused on the painters, on the properties, trying to buy more properties, enjoy life. And my number one goal, let me tell you what my number one goal is. I got a different type of mindset, y'all. I'm changing. And I got to be honest with y'all. You know what my number one goal is now? And we going to get started with the show. I got a few goals. I'm going to just name a couple of them. I got a lot of them, but I'm going to name a couple of them. Good health, staying in good health. That's that. Making sure I fulfill my purpose, which the money comes with it, so I'm not thinking about money no more. And I want to make it to heaven. My daughter is big. She got everything I need to put into her as far as like, mindset, all of that. I'm not worried about her. She good. God got her from here on out. And dad is always going to take care of her. My daughter is good. I want to make it to heaven. That's my goal. I want to get there. I got to get there. So I'm going to just keep on being a good steward of what God has given me. I'm going to keep on being a light to hold people accountable, to hopefully have their life be better than it was had I not been here. And I'm going to continue to try to do the right thing every single day. Every day I'm going to try to be better than I was the day before. I got to get to heaven. That's my goal. I want to make it to heaven. And I know it's a lot of people. I know it's a lot of people that don't believe in it or you don't really care. It's YOLO. That's not my story. That's not my story. So that's it. I want to take care of my people. I want to live a good life. I want to be in good health. And I want to make it to heaven. Yep. I'm going to start spending my Wednesdays. I got a couple things that I got to do on these Wednesdays. So this Wednesday, let me give you all a housekeeping update. This Wednesday, I will be live on Tim Pool. So for those of you that are not familiar with Tim Pool, I will be live on Tim Pool. Excuse me. And next week, including Wednesday, I think Monday and Wednesday, I will be on Fresh and Fit. So I'll be in Miami next week. I'll be in West Virginia this Wednesday. And what else? What else? What else? I got Charleston White coming this month. All right. So Charleston White is coming later on this month. We're gonna be cooking up on that. We got the Q show tonight. That's gonna be at 10 p.m. Eastern. And then we got the Patreon live stream tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. All right. So make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Tiege Hanley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off of life. And the best time to join the Patreon is the beginning of the month. All right. Y'all ready to get started with the show? All right, so let me tell y'all what I got lined up for y'all. We're going to talk about, let's just get into it. Let's get into it. We got a lot of money talk. We got some marketing talk. We got some controversy. We got racism to talk about. But the first thing that I want to talk about with you guys today, before I even read the super chats and before I go into the cash apps, the first thing that I want to talk to you guys today about is a research doctor. Now, the reason why this is significant is because of two things, right? She's a neuroscientist, research doctorate, just got her degree. I was talking to this beautiful woman, beautiful woman, and she was asking me my advice, and she said, do you think I should go for this? Do you think I should go for my this master's, doctorate, all of this other type of stuff? And I said, if you want to. Now I want to get your advice. Do you think I should go for this? I said, if you want to. And it's largely because you have to do an inventory of your life to try to figure out whether or not it's going to be a value add. All right. And what do I mean by a value add? Well, let's talk about it and let's hear a story.
I know this is a really difficult moment for so many different types of people, and that this moment isn't going to last forever, but it is incredibly disheartening to have spent the last 17 years of my life hustling and grinding to be in higher education and STEM fields like science and neuroscience, and be a freshly minted PhD with my doctorate in neuroscience, and still struggle so much to not only find a job, but find one that pays a livable wage. What do you mean I have the highest educational degree that you can get in the entire world, something that only 2% of people in the world have, and I'm struggling to find a job that pays more than a fast food manager position?
Now look at what we see on our screen, ladies and gentlemen. She's putting a comparison to what she would be making versus what a fast food manager makes. Okay. What she would be making versus what a fast food manager makes. She said a fast food manager varies, and it really does vary, especially depending on what state you're in. Go over to California, you'll be booming on the fast food manager side. Varies between 54 and 76K. This is what she put up. Academic postdoc. I'm going to deep dive into the details in a minute. Academic postdoc, 59 to 63. 17 years into her field of study. All right. 17 years into her field of study. And she's going to run down all of her accolades and accomplishments and all of that stuff. So let's continue.
If you factor in the time that I took to do my bachelor's degree, then work for 5.5 years after the bachelor's degree doing like highly technical research jobs, research associate doing stereotaxic, cranial windowing surgeries, to advance, research about how our visual system processes information, managing an entire research laboratory at the VA Puget Sound where I did like literally every aspect of the research, budgeting, training people, hiring people, conducting the research, writing, grant writing. Like I had 4 published manuscripts from that one experience. Then a 5-year doctorate program where I was working truly like 60 hours a week, sometimes a lot more, just because the workload was so intense, and the pay was so little. So I also went into further debt to do that. And my grad student experience was very successful, objectively. If you look at my resume, it's like first person in the history of my department to secure over $300,000 in fellowships and research grants and external funding. Co-founded a nonprofit to support underrepresented folks into STEM fields. Early career awards, 5 published manuscripts. Like I was busy. What I find so disheartening about this conversation too is that people will say, oh, well, just don't go into research, don't go into science, don't go into higher education if you want to be rich. That shouldn't be the point. We should not only let class privileged people advance scientific discovery. We can see how horrific that has been for scientific discovery up until this point. Class privileged people should not be the only ones able to get an education and advance our fields.
What does she mean by class privileged people shouldn't be the only ones to get an education and advance her fields? What does that mean? She says these people that's in these higher classes should not be the ones that be able to get an education and advance in these fields. What does that mean? It's a sentiment that I actually carry, that I'm an advocate for, right? Meaning, she is describing and talking about all of the student loan debt that she's taken on, the little bit of pay that she's made, the little bit of pay that she will make. A lot of what she's talking about and what she got involved in is research specific. It is not an actual hands-on, do something, fixing a spine, becoming a doctor, because there's a lot of doctorate programs, but not actual real value to be had as far as what they are physically doing to then generate revenue in this capitalistic society. And so I am a heavy advocate for what? Only be able to take out student loans if you are going into a specific field that is going to yield a great financial result as a result of it, right? Meaning that if you are going to be an AI machine scientist or prompt engineer or civil engineer, or if you're going to become a neurosurgeon or something like that, right? And you're going to generate a lot of revenue, that means your ability to pay back your loan would be there. That means you can take out student loans. I believe that student loans should be vetted in the same way that we vet for you to get a mortgage, the same way we vet for you to get a car, the same way that we vet for you to be able to pull out money and get a HELOC. it needs to be evaluated based off of your ability to pay it back. Otherwise, if you decide to go into the arts, if you decide to go into research studies, you decide you want to become a professor, a teacher, you decide that you want to go into basket weaving degree, you should be able to pay for that yourself. Meaning that then it would become specific to people that have the ability to spend that type of money, to spend 30, 40, $50,000 a year or semester, depending on whether you're in state or out of state, whether you go to the public or private college. You should have to pay for certain things, which would then make it only available to a certain demographic that is either saved up or can afford to pay for that to go to college. Do you hear what I'm saying? You can't take out $1 million, and I'm being, figuratively speaking. You can't take out $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 in debt because she's a very intelligent person. You can tell that she's incredibly intelligent. The problem is that if you're that intelligent to be able to get through these programs and communicate as effectively that you're communicating to us, and me as a C student, I'm smart enough to actually look and say, duh, I'm going to go into something that will make me money. Bing. So you smart enough to get through these programs. You're smart enough to be able to talk to us at a high level, but you're not smart enough and wise enough to be able to do your research and realize that when you come out of these programs, you're only going to be making $60,000 a year to be a teacher at a college. I don't understand these women. I don't understand women. It's like y'all don't have no guidance. You know, they say people are book smart, but they're not street smart. It's like they don't have that other thing. They don't have that other thing, you know? It's like, yeah, I know that this is your passion. I know that you really care for this. I know y'all love school. I know people that go to school just to go to school. I know people. Yeah, how many of y'all have ever met that girl? Oh, she's going back to school to get her fifth bachelorette and doctors and masters and then they leave with their and it only impress other women that don't know that you really broke. That's all it do. It impresses, or you go back to school just because you don't feel like paying off your student loan and you don't want them to start requiring for you to pay off your student loan. And so in order to continue to get a deferment, you got to register for a minimum amount of credits. And so it's a lot of people, honestly, that go to school just to be going to school. They are lifetime students and they just love sitting in a classroom, or they feel like they have to sit in the classroom, or they think that getting these doctorate and postdoctorate, and they think that that's supposed to mean something. And at the end of the day, you know what guys in the chat is saying? But can she cook though? Can she throw it back for a real one? That only impress people that don't know no better. Oh, she's so smart. Oh, but I'm saying, but can you cook though? You know, I used to. We listen, ladies. I know y'all don't do it for us, but ultimately you got to try to marry us. We're smart, but at our core, we're Neanderthals. Ooh, fire! I was showing my daughter this weekend. I was seriously. I was talking to Leslie because I got a new deck built in the back of my house, right? And when I got a new deck built, I was talking to my neighbor because we like Tim the Two Man Taylor. And so he comes and he looks over the yard. Anton, nice deck. Oh my God, I can't believe it. And now he thinking about going to get a deck. I said, I was talking to my daughter. We came out the house. She said, Dad, our lawn is slapping. I said, yeah. I said, you see them right there? It was guy next door, and one straight down the street. They was all cutting their lawns just because my lawn had just recently got cut. At our core, we have lawn wars. At our core, we trying to see who got the best deck. Oh, I see you got your house power wash this weekend. I clean my gutters, he clean his gutters. He clean his gutters, I clean my roof. Like, we're Neanderthals at the end of the day, as far as like our basic instinct to improve, have a good life, and be chilling. I'm telling you, that's who we are at the end of the day. We are very basic creatures. Y'all are doing this for y'all, and y'all doing it for other women, and in a lot of instances, because y'all are getting into these things and y'all getting all of these advanced degrees, and you're willing to spend $400,000 for nothing. Also, a guy won't marry you because he ain't trying to take on that debt and he ain't trying to inherit that. Facts, Bull City. Would you rather me tell you about my deck, or would you rather me telling you about some hoes on the street, or how we was in the streets making it rain for a real one? See, listen, y'all should appreciate these conversations. Y'all should appreciate these conversations. These are wholesome American man conversations. And then you have this.
That's ridiculous logic. And nobody's trying to get rich off of science, but like a livable wage, one that says, hey, you can afford to live in the city that you are working. You can afford to pay off some of your student loans that you had to take out of necessity to get to this point. And you might have a little bit extra to be able to support your aging family or your children. That should not be a ridiculous ask. There's a big difference between being a millionaire and being rich and just affording the cost of living. And it makes me so sad too, because although I have really been an advocate for getting more people into the sciences and STEM fields, especially Black and Indigenous people with intersecting marginalized identities, and now I feel like I'm being put in this really interesting position where I don't even know if I want to.
I don't even know what she's talking about. I'm going to be honest with you.
For getting more people into the sciences and STEM fields, especially Black and Indigenous people with intersecting marginalized identities. And now I feel like I'm being put in this really interesting position where I don't even know if I want to advocate for people to take this path. If the average cost of college education in state is approaching $30,000 a year, who can afford that? Literally, who is affording education in this country? It's not everybody, and it's certainly not those in the margins of the margins. So I feel very torn about not only advancing and continuing on this career path, but then advocating for other people to do the same. Even though science has been my passion from day one, science has been something that I felt called to do. But unfortunately, people with class privilege and people who are debt-free get to have the ability to explore that passion more than those who don't. Last thing.
You know why people that are really smart, you know why women talk like that? Like, they talk really fast. It's, advocate for marginalized indigenous peoples of other than what it's because their brain is working really fast, and they're trying to hurry up and get their words out before the end of the video or before they 3 minutes is up. And so they can see they 3 minutes coming up on the screen while they record, and they trying to hurry up and get their words out. I'm going to advocate for indigenous people to get into the sciences and I'm telling you the truth.
I'll say that's really disheartening is just watching how capitalism is just keeping people just so stuck in survival mode, just trying to get by the next, day, week, month, year, and preventing people from having the capacity, the time, not only just to live, but also to fight back against so many injustices that are happening around our country and around the world. So it's clearly by design, right?
Now it's all, look. Now, as intelligent as she is, as cute as she is, what is this? I don't even know what those countries up there are. Free Palestine, land back movement, reparations and systematic change, trans rights and protections, imperialism and global anti-blackness. What? Poverty and homelessness, women's rights, refugee and BIPOC immigrants, LGBTQ plus rights, global South exploitation. Is these the type of women that y'all going out on dates with, and they asking y'all what's your stance on trans rights and protections, reparations, and systematic change, land back movement? Hey, you trying to go to the game or what? You trying to Netflix and chill or what? Hey, can you cook? What can you cook? That's how basic my conversation is. Word. Yes, and there's such injustices across the world with BIPOC and the food, no more food movement and all that. Like, yeah, word. All right. So you trying to come back to the crib or what? We don't care. We don't care. After all of your intelligence movement and after all of this extra, guess what? You still broke. You still got to put the fries in the bag. And let me also say this, and we're going to get into the real part of the show. We're going to start the show off right. Let me also say this. Y'all think that just because y'all are super educated that you don't have to put the fries in the bag or that you're too good to put the fries in the bag. I'll tell you this, and I've said it 1,000 times and I stand on it. I am not too good to get a job. I am not too good to go and put the fries in the bag. If the fries in the bag give me the bag that be allowed for me to be able to take care of my family, I'll do whatever I got to do. DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats, extra job, putting the shelves up at Home Depot at night. I don't have no pride when it comes to being able to provide for myself. And this is probably one of the curses that come along with people that get overly educated because they don't believe that they qualify or that they're overqualified to do regular jobs to be able to put food on the table. And this is the beauty in being a man and why we always gonna beat y'all every single time, because we understand that there is no pride when it comes to doing what you got to do to feed your family. And y'all would rather run up debt and be forever in debt, but while being super intelligent, instead of doing what you got to do and making logical decisions, because God did not put you on this earth to follow your passion. He put you on this earth to take care of his business. Absolutely, she a feminist. You can see it right there. Women's rights, LGBTQ rights, global South exploitation, refugee and BIPOC immigrants, imperialism, and global anti-blackness. Yeah, she a blackity black feminist, 100%. Complaining about not being able to find a job because it's only going to pay her $50,000 a year. At the end of the day, you still going to only be make with your overly educated self, you're still only going to make $50,000 a year. Make sure you hit a like for the app. Let this be a lesson, y'all. Let this be a lesson. You can't go against what God has ordained to be true. Shout out to the patriarchy. Shout out to the patriarchy. And I'm not saying that education is a bad thing. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that make sure you put the fries in the bag. Do y'all ever get tired, like as ladies, as women, and I'm about to read the super chats and the cash apps. Do y'all ever get tired and say, man, I'm tired of caring about the cares of this world. I'm going to just give it all to God, or I'm going to give it all to my man. I'm going to just let this happen. And I don't want to think for myself. Tiffany, what up, Tiffany? Says enjoying the content. Thank you, Tiffany. I appreciate you. Mike, that dude in the building. Thank you to Mike, that dude. I also want to give a special shout out to Spencer Campbell. Spencer Campbell, you are the GOAT, my friend. Do y'all ever like be thinking to yourself, like, you know what? I don't really care about what's going on in this world. I just want to be in my bubble. Bubble women winning. And don't forget my ketchup packs, Zeroys. Bubble women are winning. Facts. Bubble women are winning. Those are the women that's just in their own little sphere. I'm going to tell you like this, honestly. And when you start caring too much, that's when men stop liking you. When you start doing too much, when you start requiring too much for them, when you start asking us to communicate too much, I zone out, honest to God, on everything. On everything. When you start putting, when you say stuff like this, why ain't you? Beep, I just turn all the way off. I'm in a whole nother world. I'm already thinking about my next move. I'm already thinking about my next flight. I'm on something else, honestly. I'm not going to be broken. I'm not going to be worn out. I'm not going to be tired at the end of my days. I'm not going when I see people let me be specific. When I see women start to become, in my opinion, and I hate to frame it like this, a nag, I turn off. I cut completely off. I can't take it. Why don't you care? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you? I honestly, it is not uncommon for me to just hit the mute button. Oh, you gonna mute? And I just hit the mute button. I just be getting driving in the car. I'm not ever going to argue. I'm not going to try to convince you. I'm not going to try to get you to see it my way. I'm not going to help you to understand it. That's a young man's game. That is a young man's game. That's a 22-year-old guy's game. Going back and forth, arguing, y'all fighting, getting into domestic violence situations, embarrassing yourself. Then y'all want to go live on the internet and tell all of your business. That's a young man's game. Anton is cool, calm, and collected. I don't care. Ladies, I'm trying to tell y'all better stop. You better stop. You better stop. It's the fastest way to lose it. Fastest way to lose them. Sarge in the building says, good morning, fam. It's time to grind. I was actually watching some of your content over the weekend, Sarge. Shout out to you. I see y'all on the bike life. Dre with the case says, I bet they didn't test you for boxolitis. Guilty as charged. Oh, Conflict Corner in the building says, yep, I do. I put my mental headphones on. Conflict Corner says, good morning, Anton. You are my dealer, and I'm fiending for that Patreon, sir. I got these cheeseburgers. Well, I'm definitely gonna be serving up that work today. You know what I'm saying? Chase Barnes says, happy Monday, AD and Peep. Shout out to AD with the clean bill of health and keep it going. Y'all get y'all the full panel and living y'all truth. Michael Morris says, I think it's more about class and less about race nowadays. You can see where she placed herself. Yeah, I agree. The King James Version in the building says, embrace AI, learn how to use it and apply it your life or struggle. Apply it to your life or struggle. Okay. Put the fries in the bag, lady, and supersize it for an extra $1, says Kwame Hayes. Shout out to Kwame Hayes. Doug MPA in the building says, Anton, I live in the DMV area. It's so hard to date in this area. All of the women here are at least $100,000 in student loan. Student loan debt, that and the liberal mindset is just awful. Peace and blessings. You got to get you a chick with 200 followers on Instagram, bro, in a small town with no motion. Listen, y'all, fellas. Doug, stop dating in popular areas and start rocking out with chicks that's in smaller towns that ain't got no motion, that got 200 followers on Instagram and don't nobody know her and she got a private account. I don't even like chicks that don't have private accounts. Small town, out of the way, not trying to be seen, going to church every Sunday. Go get you one of them. Go get you one of them. Them Chicagos, the New Yorks, the LA, the Miami, the Houstons, the Atlantas. Leave them chicks alone, bro. They don't want nothing good for you. Get you a regular chick. Y'all better stop dealing with these chicks on these apps. Chicks that got all of these dudes in their DMs. They keep on courting attention every single day. They always extra conversation with men they ain't supposed to be talking to in the streets and all of this. The man, get you a chick out the way. Out the way. I'm telling you. As soon as she get in the way, get her out the way. Shaw Edit says she is smart, but she is a Kamala voter. Facts. Real talk. 390. Get you a chick that don't mind being on the low. If she gotta be taking pictures, listen. If she gotta be taking pictures with you, if she gotta be posting you all on Instagram, if she always posting on Instagram, if she always trying to show you her stories, if she ain't one of them chicks that's like a ghost follower, but she just cute as hell and she just chilling, she out the way, man, I'm telling you, bro, she ain't yours. 392Q says she'll rather throw butt on OnlyFans than fries in a bag. Facts. Aaron L says with several, I'm not too good to be a janitor. Facts. Me either. Chris Monroe says tricking women to go out and hustle like a man is one of the greatest scams. Talk about it. Greatest scams in modern history. They are not designed for this. Great intro, AD. Thank you, my friend. Gray Win is in the building, says, I work a corporate 9 to 5, make good money, but also about to start a vending machine business. That's a lot of work. Be careful. It's a lot of work. Talk to Phi Brown. I was coaching him through it. Mike Bagg says America wasn't built for single people. This whole setup runs on families, legacy, not lone folks doing life solo. Talk about it then, Mike. Y'all on it today. GR's Infantry says Google Uber salary, driver salary is $60,000. Wow. Y'all ready to go ahead and continue on with the show? Y'all ready to get into it? All right, we got a lot to cover today, so go ahead and strap in. Hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Let's first start in Los Angeles. Then we gonna go to Chicago. Then we going over to Milwaukee. And then we going all across the globe, all right? So first things first, we're gonna spend 10 minutes on this. Flash mobs and looting and robberies in Los Angeles. They going and casing y'all houses. Y'all got to get from around the inner city and start moving outwards if you out there in California, all right? Let me go ahead and deep dive into it again. Make sure I hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
Thank you for that. How about this? Hiding behind their faces behind masks and hoodies, this flash mob of bike-riding robbers caught on video ransacking a Chevron food mart. And this is just the latest in a series of similar incidents with dozens of people, most of them minors, rushing into stores, stealing items, and then escaping before the police get there.
Yeah, KHLA's Lindsay Pena is live outside that store in Lincoln Heights with more. Lindsay?
Good evening, Rick and Mary Beth. This Chevron is at the corner of Mission and Daly Streets here in Lincoln Heights. And as you mentioned yesterday, it was overrun by teenagers ransacking the store. I had a chance to talk to the owner earlier, and he says he's fed up. Surveillance video from outside a Lincoln Heights Chevron store
Lock the door as soon as they roll up.
Riding up on bikes and scooters.
Lock the door. When you see them rolling up, y'all gonna have to learn to start discriminating. Y'all gonna have to learn to start discriminating. See, y'all keep trying to be inclusive. I'm reclusive. Y'all keep trying to be inclusive.
Lincoln Heights Chevron store shows dozens.
Get out of there. Cars too. Cars too. You're going to learn, social justice warriors, people that are against discrimination, you're going to learn the hard way. You're going to learn the hard way. And the way that you're going to learn is that you're going to have to get your head. I'll get your head, boy. You know I will. I hit your head, boy. With the back of the steel, I hit your head, boy. You're going to learn the hard way. Discrimination keeps you safe. Discrimination keeps you alive. It does. Rules, it prevents people from coming into the community that are not supposed to be there. Increasing property taxes weeds out the people that can't afford to live there. You're going to have to start putting barriers to entry into whatever it is that you got going on. I was once naive like you in my 20s and my 30s. I was once naive like you. I once thought that I could save the world, that I could get the hood behind me by pouring into the community. I was once one of those naive people that fell for the spiel of politicians that said that the Democrats was for the poor and the Republicans were for the rich. I was once one of you. I was liberal Anton. Liberal Anton used to be out here in these streets doing community service, giving back to the poor. Well, I still do that. Volunteering for homelessness, building businesses that would then speak to the community to make sure that we didn't have any plexiglass around so that you can have dignity and respect. And you know what they did? They stole from me. They bust the window in order to try to break in. You gonna learn that when you open up a business in the hood, The community activists are going to try to hold you accountable when something happens at your business and you lock in a thief and you beat the crap out of them and you hold them accountable. They're going to come and they're going to march and they're going to protest at your business and say, we shutting this down. We're going to shut this place down until we get some justice, until the police come and arrest these guys and charge them. I got a story coming up in a little bit about the people in Milwaukee, how they got a food desert out there. We're going to get to it. I was once one of these people. I advocated. They said, Anton, you got to put up glass, bulletproof. I said, no. If you treat them with dignity, they'll treat you back with they'll support. Tried to rob me blind. I said, what in the Jesus? Tried to rob me blind. I said, I can't be doing. I'm not about to be out here stressed out. I'm not. Have y'all ever seen corner store and gas station owners that be in the hood? Have y'all ever seen what their life is like? They not living good. They in bad health. They stressed out. They cholesterol is high. They using food as a coping mechanism for having to come in every day. They got cameras all around. They begging the people to stop stealing. They trying to run a respectable business. They talk to the people. They give back turkey drives. They do all kind of stuff. And you know what people do? They just keep on hitting them. They keep on hitting them. That's the thing about the devil. The devil don't stop. They're going to show up the next day and keep dealing on the side of your building. And when you run them off, they're going to come up the next day. Then they're going to come up the next day. And they're going to come up the next day. And then eventually they're going to wear you down. Until you just existing, hoping for something to happen when you're not there so you can take the insurance payout and just completely shut down your gas station or your corner store. And they're going to protest against you and they're going to say, you know what? I'm tired of all of the Chaldeans and the Arabic people opening up businesses and price gouging us in our neighborhood. I'm tired of them selling the liquors and the cigarettes and the loosies. And to our neighborhoods, we have to do. They not going to hold the people accountable that be up in there tearing up and doing stuff. They just going to get mad. They not going to open up their own stores. They just going to keep on doing what they doing. Tony Reyes says, Anton is such a rat. Facts. A rich rat, too. A rich rat. 100%. I agree with you. Tony Red. Now what? See him outside of the gas station? See him in the hood with his all black on? Lips black? Huh? You see him with the Scully on in the summertime? That used to be a young YN. Now he an old YN. You see him? Let me ask y'all a question in the chat while we picking sides, okay? While we picking sides, let me ask y'all a question in the chat. How many people like this have y'all seen as an inspiration to what you would want your kids to follow and become successful? See, Tony Red, I know your type. You are black and mild smoking, always got paper tags on your car, can't never put nothing in your name because your credit is bad, always blaming the man, probably going to become Muslim, been in and out of jail a couple different times, caught a couple felonies, pleaded down, made sure that you did time served, probably got a couple baby mamas, no father in your life, or you a step baby daddy, you was with a couple different women, probably got a couple kids out of wedlock, got an old school and another old school, got a newer old school that's old school because it's less than 20 years young / 20 years old. I know your type, bro. You think respectable citizens sit here and call me a rat? They don't. People that pay their property taxes, people that can come to the places that I come to, I seen you. We both went to the same airport. You went to Terminal B. I went to Terminal A. I went to Delta. You went to Spirit and Frontier. I seen you. You're the Carnival Cruise. Your girl is always doing the line dance. You think Atlanta is the Black Mecca. You think it's Wakanda, right? Keep on reading the same book, Dr. Seuss, Cat in the Hat every day. Couldn't really read in the classroom. Held you back a couple times. I know your type. So when you say that I am something, I actually take that as a compliment because I don't listen to retards and think that it's a compliment when they say that I'm awesome. You in the slow kids class. I don't look at that as like, if you was to compliment me, I would think that's an insult. Wait a minute. What do you think? I'm like them? I'm not like you. I'm not like you. You're the reason why I got my windows tinted. Nowhere near my neighborhood. Can't even come near around me. Even if you tried to pass where it is that you think I live, they're going to arrest you on the spot because the police sit there right on Old Orchard Trail, going right around. And if your license plate ain't together, which I'm pretty sure you got them paper tags on there, keep on lying to the police, telling them that you just bought the car. They know you ain't just bought the car. They see all of the little roaches in there. You smoke your trees down to the nub. I don't look at you and your kind in any way like you're a part of what it is that I got going on. I went to me and my daughter, we was out on Woodward, and we was out there because we got the Woodward Dream Cruise, and so we had the old schools out. She had the Challenger out, the Hellcat. I had the Porsche out, and then I also brought out the 96 Impala. So we out there. I go into the gas station, a white man, oh my God, it's Anton. Can we take a picture together? Oh man, we watch you every day. Those are the people that I'm targeting. I'm not thinking about y'all at all. Not even a little bit. This is your kind. One of your children is out here robbing and stealing and doing flash mobs. Where are your kids at? Let me guess. You watching me while you over there inside of the warehouse trying to get your job done. I got you. Keep on telling us how you going to get your GED. You going to get into a trade soon. What, HVAC? You going to get into HVAC. You going to become a carpenter. You going to work with your hands in order to ensure that you still got a job. Is that how you going to do it? Huh? You don't believe in education, but you're going to get a trade because they won't give you a job. You don't know how to use a computer outside of your regular smartphone. Talk to text. That's what talk to text. How dare you? How dare you talk to an educated leader of the community like me with such disregard? You peasant.
Of young people riding up on bikes and scooters. Seconds later, they're then inside, grabbing everything in sight.
They just came in like it was, Halloween trick-or-treating.
Justin Salib is the store owner and says he was alerted by his alarm company and cashier about the brazen thefts.
Came in, they saw what they wanted, they grabbed whatever they want, and it wasn't just like grabbing one item or two items, it was grabbing boxes.
Salib says the 15 to 20 kids who looked to be no older than 15 or 16 years old took large amounts of snacks and energy drinks and just left. When the cops showed up minutes later,
they said, well, this is considered shoplifting. We can't do anything about it. Have a nice day.
LAPD did confirm to KTLA they responded to the call and that there were no reported injuries. Salib says he's growing tired of dealing with issues like this.
So when is enough's going to be enough? We're all like small business owners. We all pay our taxes. We all do everything the legal right way. And at the end of the day, we get the short end of the stick.
At this point, Salib feels he has no choice but to absorb the loss, paying the cost to replace the stolen inventory and restock his shelves.
There's no consequences. And the crazy part is these are children. These are high schoolers and middle schoolers. Like, where's their parents?
Again, that owner tells us,
we know who their parents is. I just got done talking about them in the chat. I literally just got done talking about them in the chat. We know where their parents are.
New at 11, it's happened again. Teens going on a wild rampage, ransacking a Southern California convenience store, taking whatever they can get their hands on. Can anything be done to stop these crimes? Eyewitness News reporter Leanne Suter is live in Lincoln Heights with a new video tonight. Leanne.
Mark, that's exactly what the owner of this gas station here wants to know. He says that takeover happened in just a matter of seconds and says there was nothing they could do as the store suddenly filled with thieves. A sudden burst of young thieves as 24 kids take over the Chevron station in Lincoln Heights.
Just ambushed the store and ransacked it pretty much.
Owner Jerry Salib says it happened in an instant. You can see the young boys grabbing boxes full of candy.
They grabbing Laffy Taffies, big dog, and sour candies. Laffy Taffies and sour candies. Fam, it's the parents' fault. It's the parents' fault. It's 100% the parents' fault. And I genuinely believe, and I know y'all don't believe, give them second and third chances to steal all of the business owners blind. Give them second and third chances to grow up and knock each other off. Give them second and third chances. I know one day my son going to become a rapper. What do y'all think, that these people are going to become future engineers of the world? These are the bottom of the bottom, the lowest of the low. And they all come from single mother households and from daddies like the one I was just talking about that keep on telling us that his son is going to be better than him. You think they just riding around on a bike for exercise to go do something productive? What do y'all, listen, if we had to guess with this guy that's stealing sour candies right here, if you had to guess what he's going to grow up to be, because usually what we hope to be, what his grandmother is praying, oh, Lord Jesus, just cover Jaquan. Cover Jaquan. Cover him, Lord. Cover him. We knew he had a low IQ because his mother and his father was really brother and sister, and they tried to act like they didn't know. They was cousins, first cousins, and they decided to just keep on going like Kevin Gates. Lord, you see him. Bless him, Lord. We know he ain't never going to really get a really good job. He ain't going to change the world, but Lord, help him, Jesus. Help him to get a good paying job. Bless that Trump. Bless that Trump to bring manufacturing back to the United States of America and give him a reason. Lord, show him himself so he can get his GED. That way he can get a job. That's how they kept so many thugs off the street. You know how they kept them off the street? They gave them manufacturing jobs. See, y'all don't want to have this conversation. Y'all don't really want to have this conversation. I'm going to tell you the real history of the community. The history of the community is that the way that they kept the lower class people that continue to do the degenerate stuff is that they started to give them jobs that only required them to do the minimum in graduation in order to be able to provide for themselves. That's how they did it. Y'all keep thinking that we got this culture set up to where you can have higher education and capitalism outside of becoming a basketball player, football player, or even a rapper is incentivizing people to do the right thing. No, that's not it. The way that they kept the community out of trouble is that they gave them basic jobs. Screw this bolt here. When they started introducing robotics, that's when man, I don't want to do this job no more. I'm sick of it, bro. Call my union leader. Call my union leader, dog. I don't want to hear it no more, man. Call my union leader. They gave them basic jobs. They gave them assembly line jobs. Put this one on this one and then do the check. It's a machine right here. That is how they kept the community out of trouble. This is the honest to God truth. I know y'all think that I'm just joking and jonesing. I'm telling you the truth. The problem today is that we don't have basic jobs that allow for people to be able to take care of themselves while at the same time be able to fly a baddie out because our standards have gotten too high. But when you kept them busy, and go to the bar. And this is not just for black people. This is for white people too. Plenty of white Neanderthals were in the community. That's where they had whole shows about them. They was called Cheers, where everybody knows your name. Boom, 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 boom. And we know you're glad you came. Boom, boom. You want to be where people can see. And we're in our world. They play some little nice music for you. You were the Al Bundys of the world. You were the Al Bundys. You were. Listen, when you look at these old shows, these were the documentaries made about you guys. You were the Al Bundys. You were the mailmen. Nah? Chrysler workers. And that's not no knock to the people that go into the plant. I used to work in the plant, but you guys were the ones that they gave jobs to, and that is how they stemmed the crime in the community. It had nothing to do with community activists, had nothing to do with none of that. They kept you busy. Boy, if you don't put that lug nut on that, I'ma fire you. Yes, boss. Yes, boss.
Candy, as many chips as they could carry, even cases of beer. Salib says they got away with more than $1,200 worth of goods.
When it's a gang of them at 24, 25 people, it's like an organized crime.
Ahmed, don't worry about it, big dog. It's over for you. Put up the plexiglass. Go get you some more snacks from Sam's Club, Costco, you know. Have the Pepsi driver come and deliver you some more Pepsis. Let's go and distribute some more diabetes inside of the neighborhood so we can make sure that the people can be more occupied. Don't worry about it, Ahmed. It just is what it is. You got to take your L like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you guys hit a like for that. Y'all didn't know I was going to go here today. But this is apparently the direction that the show is going in today because the chat said that this is what they wanted to see. Y'all wanted to get unruly. I had a great weekend. I wanted to be able to have a nice conversation with you guys, let you know the different crime that was happening inside of the community. And now look at where we are. Now we're looking where we are. Now Ahmed is getting this. Now look at what you made me do. Huh? All right. Well, okay, Jake. Okay, Hoyt. If this is what you wanted, then this is what we're going to talk about. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm. You want me to go red? Go red, orange, huh? Okay, well, this is the mood that we in until we can do better. Huh? Hoyt? Okay. You want red, orange? Well, you get red, orange. Let me see what's happening inside of the chat. Almost got 3,000 people in here. Hit a like for the algorithm. Eric Williams says, what's good, AD? Look here. I'm at work doing OT on my day off. Look at that good man. That's a good man, Savannah. That's a good man, Savannah. Greg Charlie says, I've been busy with school and work lately. Haven't been able to catch you live, so I just wanted to drop in and say AD for mayor. If we don't get tomorrow, I know we vote in Detroit. All right? Let me say this to the people of the city. Tomorrow we vote. I've largely taken a hands-off approach to this election. I haven't endorsed anybody. I haven't interviewed anybody. I've seen some of y'all candidates reach out. No, I am not going to endorse anybody because I know that politics is too close to home this time. So I'm going to do my part as a regular, everyday citizen to vote for the people that's supposed to be in office. I need y'all to pick the right person. I'm not going to tell you who the right person is. You should have did your research. You should have been familiar. If y'all pick the wrong person, you mess up the momentum that's happening in the city. And I pay attention over the next 2 years, and I see that it's not going the way that it's supposed to go. I'm running for mayor. Do the right thing. Come on, y'all. Do the right thing and elect the right person. Don't y'all fumble this one. No pastors, no lawyers. No lifetime politicians, business owners. We need business owners. That's all I'm going to say. Business owners. I ain't saying no names. Don't need no pastors. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Greg Charlie. I appreciate you. Anton, face it, man. You're a celebrity now. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I am a regular person there just like everybody else. I don't say fans. If AD is a rat, he's our rat. Talk about it. That's correct, Cypho. 100%. Shy Guy in the building says, you seen a viral video of 3 black kids stealing candy from the CVS and cursing out the workers. They be acting and talking just like their ghetto. Oh, my God. Oh, my gosh. I haven't seen that one. James Watt says, salute AD and back chasers. I'll whoop your head, boy. You know I will. With the back of the steel. Me University says, Anton bringing the pain like a bed edge, shaking my head. Listen, I have been very nice lately. Moses King says, AD, can you do a Denzel Washington? No, I'm not. It's got to be It's got to be organic. I got to just do it in a moment. You'll know it when you hear it. You'll know it when you hear it, all right? All right. What we got going on here? Let's see what else we got popping. Oh, yeah, shootings. We got to go to Chicago and Los Angeles. Let's spend 10 minutes here. Let's get there. Make sure. That can't be right. Is that right? Interesting. Well, let's go to plan B. If plan A don't work, you got to go to plan B. Let's get there.
Police in Harvey are investigating 2 shootings, including one at a house party, leaving 7 people shot, among them a 4-year-old boy. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jackie Banning.
And I'm Timon Bradley. Thanks for joining us. WGN's Andrea Medina joins us live from Harvey City Hall. Andrea.
Hi, Timon and Jackie. Police say one shooting occurred last night and the other early this morning, and both incidents are connected. Investigators are now working to determine the circumstances that led to the gunfire.
The scene was chaotic, you know, a lot of police, a lot of ambulances, a lot of people laying down in the ground.
What started as a house party on this residential block near 145th and Desplaines Streets in Harvey turned into a deadly crime scene Saturday night. By Sunday morning, the aftermath was still visible. Evidence markers scattered on the ground, police tape tossed into a trash can, lawn chairs and a child's bike were left untouched on the grass, silent reminders of the violent night.
It was a shame to have to see something like that, especially over here because we don't have nothing happening over here. Yeah. You know, I lived over here for a minute, nothing happens over here, but it was a sad moment for this community here.
Neighbor Terrence Simpkins says he watched the incident unfold through footage.
That doesn't look like a bad neighborhood, though. Somebody in the chat, y'all tell me, what's Harvey, Illinois like outside of Chicago? What's it like over in Harvey, y'all? What's it like over in Harvey? It don't look like, you can tell that either it's not a bad, it wasn't supposed to be a bad neighborhood, or the neighborhood has gone down over a period of time. You can tell that either the neighborhood was really good at one point and it's went down over a period of time where it was never supposed to be a bad neighborhood. Somebody tell me what Harvey, Illinois is like. Let me know inside of the chat. Because a good neighborhood and the bad neighborhood is gotten bad. So it was. It's hood over in Harvey, Illinois. Was it always hood? Harvey's always been bad. Black suburban area that used to be good. Harvey is right next to Dolton, Anton. Grew up there. I grew up there. That place is SHIT. Quiet, but it's going down. Not bad, just doesn't look new. Harvey is bad. So many people get shot over there in Tinley Park. Used to live there. All Harvey is bad, is a bad neighborhood. Really? It's a hood suburb. Wow. Always been hood. Harvey is near Dolton. Older neighborhood. I had family there back in the day. They left Boy on the side of a rental U-Haul van. It was good, looks nice, well kept. Sounds like a lot of the old suburbs that go bad eventually. Harvey, Markham, Robbins, and Dolton are hood. Politics are crooked. So don't let the trees fool you. Harvey is ran down. Would have never guessed by the look of it. It looks like a quiet town. It looks like a quiet city in a quiet town. Like it's got good bones. got good bones in there, you know? It's got good bones. And the people of Harvey, they're good working folk. They like to dedicate themselves to hard work. And they should be able to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. Okay? You know? Harvey is no good? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You telling me that Harvey is no good? Harvey because it's next to Dalton? Dalton, Illinois? Where I used to be from over there near the south side of Chicago? Huh. Interesting. Let me ask y'all another question then. Do y'all think that these communities can be saved? What needs to happen in these communities? What needs to happen in these communities in order for us to root out the bad seeds, the violence, and then raise the property values and make it a place, a destination where people want to live there?
Footage on his Ring camera, then stepped outside to find a chaotic scene. According to Harvey police, gunfire broke out at around 8 p.m. on Saturday during a house party. 2 individuals are believed to have opened fire on the crowd, injuring 5 party guests, including a 4-year-old boy. Police say they were transported to area hospitals and are expected to be okay. A family member who asked to remain anonymous says that a person inside the home legally carrying a firearm returned fire, killing one of the alleged shooters and wounding the other.
That's the best part about, exercising your rights, you know what I'm saying? Having FOIA cards and being able to protect your home. So they protected their home.
The surviving suspect was taken into custody. Although police initially considered Saturday night's shooting an isolated incident, they're now looking into another shooting that happened just before 5 this morning in the 200 block of Calumet Boulevard. It is believed to be a possible act of retaliation. There, a man was found dead inside a minivan. A woman who lives near the scene asked to remain anonymous.
That's over 40 markers, yo. That's over 40 casings.
But says she was jolted awake by the sound of gunshots and is still shaken by what she saw outside.
Yo, that's a hit right there. When you see that amount of gunshots into a car, into whatever, because it's also obviously going into the windshield. You can look into the upper right-hand corners going into the windshield also. That's a hit.
Window.
We just heard, it sounded like someone's hitting garbage cans. I heard at least about 40, 38, 30, I don't know, a lot around.
While an arrest has been made in connection with Saturday night's shooting, police are still searching for suspects involved in this morning's incident.
That's why I drive a Cybertruck. Bulletproof. Just duck. You good. Y'all know that's why a lot of rappers and a lot of people that's of significance, why they actually started getting Cybertrucks. They didn't get Cybertrucks just because it's sweet or just because it's electric or just because it was expensive. They also got it because it's bulletproof and it allows for you to be able to get around a city, and it's got a lot more safety to it because of the stainless steel doors that won't allow for bullets to go through it like a regular minivan. Y'all didn't know that? I know several people that have got that feels more comfortable in a Cybertruck because it is bulletproof. Yep. I know several people that feel safer in a Cybertruck because it's bulletproof. And the rounds just can't be going through it if anything ever happens to them. I mean, if you go get a 50 cal or something like that, then that's one thing, but yep, I know several people that ride Cybertrucks and they feel more comfortable as their daily. That's not the only car that they have. They feel more comfortable be in their daily riding around. They get the windows tinted and it's more of a bulletproof car, and so they feel more comfortable. I love my Cybertruck. I love the Cybertruck. Absolutely. 100%. But here's my question that I have for you guys with regard to this subject, right? About these shootings. There was also a shooting in Los Angeles, big shootings in Los Angeles, right? Here's another question that I have for you guys. And they can't steal it because it's 100% electric and you actually need a mobile device and the actual physical key in order to get into it. Here's the question that I have for you guys. All right? Y'all ready? Why won't y'all move back into the hood or communities that other people in the community would consider to be less desirable? Why won't y'all move back into the hood or into communities or into the spaces that other people would consider to be less desirable? It's a real question. Why won't y'all take y'all communities back? If you want affordable living, because again, the reason why a lot of these communities were more affordable is because people moved in mass that were solidly middle class, and it didn't require for them to spend a whole lot of money in order for them to be able to pay property taxes, maintenance, all of that. Because a lot of people live there, make it hell. It's more you than it is for them. You don't want your car stolen again. Because of the ninjas, all fear. Crime is too high in the hoods of St. Louis. Okay, cool. So let me ask you another question then. If a mass of white people started moving in there and then the property values started going up, would y'all still consider it the hood, or would y'all start to consider it gentrified? I'm trying to understand your mindset because I really want to know how people are thinking. If a mass group of white people said, you know what, we're going to start moving into these spaces, would y'all complain or would y'all let them have it? Would you complain or would you let them have it? Would you say, you know what, they can have a hood, or you know what, it's not even that big of a deal? Would y'all let them have it, and would y'all let them rock out and let them fix up the grass and start telling on anybody that comes to their block? And as they go and petition and say, hey, put up speed bumps on these streets in order to prevent people from speeding through because we got younger children, would y'all trip or no? You would say let them have it, take it. Because I think that y'all would start complaining. Y'all would start honestly complaining. Oh, it's white people moving in here. They starting to make it different. I don't know about this, whatever, so on and so forth. I don't really think y'all really thinking this through. What am I telling you? I'm telling you that you have the ability to clean up your community. It really just takes mindset. You go in there, you mow your lawn, you start taking care of business. Your friend is living next door. Your homeboy is living next door. You get to know your neighbors. You start telling on anybody that drive down the street that looks suspicious. You start participating. Schools are not bad. It's the parents. It's the parents. It's the parents. Christopher. This shows how black people are racist against themselves. Ninjas literally, this white people are better than themselves. Ninjas literally think white people are better than themselves. Ain't that crazy, Christopher? All right. I'll tell you what. That might be too big of an ask. I wonder what would happen if I went into the hood and bought one property at a time until I bought up the whole block. Or if I just bought one property at a time and I start making the changes and fixing it up and all of that. I wonder if people would say it's gentrified because it's a black man that's actually going over there and fixing it up. You don't want to own around degenerates? Exactly. Exactly. Because y'all think, and this is the problem with identity politics. Y'all think that because people don't look like you, that makes them better than you, and that actually raises the value of something. You know, it's funny because I've heard people say, "Well, Anton, how come when a white family or when a black family, when they had their pictures up, that the value of the property it couldn't sell, but when they removed their pictures and a white family was the one that showed it, or a white realtor is the one that showed the people, then it sold for more than over asking value." All you got to do is look at the chat. All you got to do is look at the chat. The chat believes it also. The chat believes the same thing, but they complain about the same thing, but they won't do anything about the same thing. The chat believes it also. The same reason why you think that they're doing it because the value of it is higher because of your perception of each other and because you don't want to raise your standards and your values is the reason why they are unwilling to pay a premium for something that you lived in because you are creating the narrative and the stereotype that ultimately proves true amongst other black people. Y'all don't want to live amongst each other. No. Think about it. You don't want to live amongst each other. So why should somebody else pay a premium yet you call them racist if they don't want to buy a property that you lived in? Perception is key. Perception is key. No? Y'all not hearing me? So y'all don't want to live in the hood, but then you don't want nobody else to come into the hood and gentrify it. Yet you expect a premium and everybody is chasing white people to see where they live at. And white people don't want you to come over there if you still hood because you have a stereotype and a perception that you are lending because they have this perception of you that says that you can remove the person out the hood, but you can't remove the hood out the person. And y'all get mad at white people that decide to divest themselves and go and move into different communities. And then you complain that y'all not able or willing to build amongst each other because y'all truly don't like each other. But then at the same time, you say that other people should be respecting you in diversity, equity, and inclusion. Black people only want to live around other people because they don't see value in themselves until other people say that you're valuable. We need positive affirmation from outsiders in order to make ourselves feel good. We need positive affirmation from other people in order to make ourselves feel good. That's the honest to God truth. It's crazy to see how it is playing out in real time, literally in the chat. It is insane. And y'all can clean up your neighborhood. You know who the killers are. You know who the robbers are. You know who the dope boys are. You know who all of those people are. You can clean up your neighborhood, bro. The reason why it was so much affordable for your father and your grandfather is because they lived, worked, and played in the same spaces, but they didn't have the same expenses, and they actually valued themselves. If you saying that the hood did it, then who is the hood? The hood is just a reflection of the people that cared for it, right? Y'all said that's every race. Nope, it's not every race. I go over to Dearborn and Dearborn Heights every single day, and they got mansions literally right next to the little 2-bedroom house. They have mansions, bro. I am going to, when I get back in town, after I get done doing this Tim Pool podcast and I do Fresh and Fit, I'm going to take y'all on a tour. I'm going to take y'all on a tour of Dearborn and Dearborn Heights, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. Either they live in Bloomfield, West Bloomfield, or they're going to live in Dearborn. And they will build mansions. They have taken over entire communities, tore the houses down, and built them up and raised up the property values and won't even let you buy a house in there. I'm telling you. They don't move into communities because they're nice. They move into communities because they are there. They don't move into communities because they already nice. They move into communities because they are already there. I'm telling you, bro, it is a real thing. I wish I could help y'all. I wish I could change y'all perspective. I wish I could absolutely change how it is that y'all see things. I really do. But y'all stuck. Y'all stuck. Y'all stuck. Let's move on to the next part of the show. Oh, let me read some of the super chats and then we'll move over to the next part of the show. Eric Williams, I got big plans that I can't tell y'all about. I have major plans. Major plans. I got a 5 to 10 year roadmap that I have developed that I am absolutely going to, my plan. I can't say much. Eric Williams says, Anton, I'm definitely familiar with this. It is right there by Dalton. I have family that stayed in the south suburbs. A lot of the blacks that left the south side of Chicago, all moved to the south suburbs. Kelsey Clark says, Anton, have you heard about the Detroit man that pistol whipped his wife for 8 years when he found out that their 3 kids weren't? Yes, I did hear about that. Well, I seen a post about it. I didn't know how true it was. I didn't have time to research it. Nicholas Henry says, off topic, Fortis, Arkansas, man sentenced to 220 years for mass shooting in 2020 at butcher shop. Send it to me. Ahmed and Abdul get the rocks. No, they got more. They got the choppers up in that joint. Conflict Corner says all of the South Chicago suburbs are just as ghetto as Chicago. I stand Chicago's west suburbs, all white, Hispanic. The police out here keep ninjas at bay. We don't like each other. Tribal Roots says, hey, Anton, I just wanted to say that incident in Harvey seems isolated. I live here. Neighborhoods improving. Hispanics and Indians are buying, remodeling. Harvey's turn. Look at what y'all saying. Look, before y'all knew what I was going to say. Hispanics and Indians are buying, remodeling. Harvey's turning around. I don't hear people say black people are coming in and fixing everything up and buying everything. It's turning around. I don't hear it. I've never heard that in my entire life. I've never heard that in my entire, hey, white people coming in, Hispanics is coming in, Indians is coming in, old money, people from out of town, Californians, Texans, all of that stuff. Every single time, it's always this. Why? Why? Harvey is so poor, the cops have 98 Crown Vics. Tone Antonio says, the good don't call the cops. So let me ask y'all a question. If you see that the cops don't have adequate police cars, then how come y'all don't get together and pool y'all money together and run a fundraiser and a drive in order to make sure that y'all donate to the community and donate to better police cars? That's how other communities would do it. They would do a fundraiser for the police department. I'm going to give y'all the play. I'm going to show y'all. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to actually do it. Watch. Stick around long enough to actually see the manifestation of it. I'm not going to promise y'all that I'm building a school. I am going to take over whole cities. Other communities, they do fundraisers and drives in order to get the police department what they need. Vests, cars, equipment, support. They get together and they know their community. They know their police officers. They meet with the police chief. They ask them what they need. I'm a lie. So you've never heard of people actually donating to fundraisers for the police department? You've never heard of that before? Really? That's the mayor's responsibility. It's not. It's not the mayor's responsibility, y'all. I want y'all to wake up. I want you to wake up. The people are the ones that elect the people that serve them in the community. It's not their responsibility. Stop looking at everybody to save you and save yourselves. Bro, you got whole white communities that are building, tearing down trees, buying up communities, self-policing, and building their own communities in the Ozarks of Arkansas, and y'all waiting on a savior. You keep on looking for the government to help you. Why? I have donated to the police department. Y'all don't have to wait for nobody to save you. Save yourself. You don't have to wait for nobody to save you. Save yourself. Shout out to Molly with the super sticker. I appreciate you for the fireball, Molly. Construct Icon says in upstate New York, some clean towns are dangerous. Well, make it less dangerous. AR says in the Bay Area, the hood now holds all their R&B brunches and predominantly white suburban restaurants, but claim they love their hood. Twisted Logic says B people say houses are too much work. But not having kids, I don't know what that means. I'm sorry, Twisted Logic. I can't read the end of that. Manuel AG says, make me feel good to hear a white man say I'm one of the good ones. Jesus. What have this world come to? This is insane, bro. This is insane. Ollie's Creed says, facts about Harvey, Illinois. You are 100% correct. It was one of the best of the south suburbs. The politicians robbed it blind. Harvey is the suburb that had its own mall at one point, also supply water in the surrounding suburbs. Nicholas Henry says, in Little Rock, they are buying up big, beautiful abandoned houses, gentrifying a historical neighborhood, still heavy gang activity. Ken says, because the Hispanics and Indians aren't Indians aren't targeted for violence, black people target other blacks. Freedom Kev says, I rock with you, Anton, on a financial tip, but you and I know you wouldn't stand in front of Charlamagne or Dr. Umar with these conservative views. What are you talking about? What are they scary? Umar Johnson and Charlamagne is so scared of me. Both of them are scared out of their mind. You trolling. You got to be trolling, right? You have to be trolling. You are trolling in the biggest way ever. Both of them have been invited. Both of them I even offered to pay them. And both of them are scared out of their mind. At one point, I offered Umar Johnson $50K. And the people here will tell you about it. Umar Johnson will tell you about it. I said $50K to stand in front of me for 2 hours and answer some real questions about real life, and let's really get to it. Scared out of their minds. Bruh. Umar. Are those, the real question is, why do you look to them as your hero? Those are your heroes? Charlamagne and Umar Johnson. Interesting. Gotta be new here. Charlamagne. You know, I would think that y'all would have picked somebody that was formidable at least. Y'all insulting. Y'all insult me. They call me Mr. Bibbs. Says, Anton, do you own any property in the Osborne district? I don't. Rob B says, AD, I am indeed a credit to my race. Okay, I like that. I like that. Make sure y'all hit a like. Charlamagne and Umar. That's the best y'all can do. Y'all didn't give me no critical thinkers, no people that is okay. All right. Anyways, make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to them. Charlamagne is incredibly successful. Umar Johnson he got a lot of followers on Instagram. Shout out to them, y'all. Also, try to pay Umar again. He need the 50K. Man, I'm not giving nobody nothing. That was one time. That was a one-time opportunity. That is not going to happen. You can forget it, bro. Yeah, let's continue on with the show. So I'm gonna pivot over to this first. Let's go to Milwaukee, and then we're gonna go over to Apple, and then we get into Charlamagne. We'll get into Charlamagne. Actually, we're gonna go Charlamagne, then Apple. All right. Milwaukee. We're gonna spend 10 minutes on this. Closing grocery stores, becoming a food desert. But what they're not telling you is we got the grocery stores have been stolen from so much that they can no longer be profitable. Again, make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's get to it.
The word is out. The Milwaukee area is losing 5 pick and save stores. It's troubling news about a grocery store chain that's been around for decades. CBS 58's Jacob Murphy is live at one of those stores that's closing, which is near Metcalf Park, with a look at the impact this will have on the neighbors there. Jacob.
Well, Natalie, today I met with a woman that lives just a couple of blocks from this pick and save, and she tells me that without it, she has no idea what her and her neighbors are going to do for food.
This Pick and Save is the only grocery store in our immediate area.
The Pick and Save on North 35th Street isn't just a store.
It is the only source of food that this community has access to.
It's a lifeline.
Hey, ladies, let me ask y'all a question.
It's the only source.
What is this thing? What does this thing do for y'all? This thing that y'all have in y'all nose. The cow ring, the bull ring, the septum ring. What does that do for y'all? I'm honestly curious. Like, what is the interest? What is the thing? You know what I'm saying? What makes it hot to y'all? Did a bunch of guys say, "Oh, I want to be able to grab the front of that thing like you a cow, baby"? What does that do? Honestly, no. I'm serious, Jerry. Because I see so many liberal white women and black women with those things in they nose, and I'm trying to understand what it means. Is it is it a sign? Is it something that y'all communicate with that says, "Here I am, woman, hear me roar"? Is it a feminist thing? What is it? What is it? What is this thing on y'all nose?
Food that this community has access to.
It's a lifeline.
Devastating.
And soon it will be gone.
It's going to be not only a financial burden, but a burden on the spirit and the stomach.
It's one of 5 Milwaukee area pick and saves shutting its doors.
It's hard to hear that such a prominent chain in Milwaukee is closing down so many stores.
Jessica Thompson is a part of the Milwaukee Food Council.
I think the solution would be to move towards a food system that doesn't rely on these big grocery chains for our daily needs.
Brittany Taylor lives a couple blocks away from this pick and save. It's where she gets everything she needs to feed her family.
It's leaving us high and dry. It's leaving us with no resources, no food, no access.
She's worried about what's next for her and her neighbors.
I'm worried for my community and myself, because how will we get to that food, get that access when this is the only thing that we have available, and now it's being shut down?
Pick and Save did release a statement saying the closings are part of a larger company-wide decision and to run more efficiently and endure long-term health.
What a lot of these companies won't tell y'all is that, all right, so let me break it down and help y'all to understand, because if you are a part of the Patreon, then you understand the charts. You understand the companies, you look at it from a financial perspective, and then we're going to go into the community aspect, right? The margins on grocery stores, and this is the reason why Kamala Harris's rhetoric and what she was saying on the campaign trail was so insulting to people that actually understand the culture and they understand exactly how money works. The whole idea of grocery stores gouging prices in a capitalistic market is crazy. It is crazy. And the reason that it's crazy is because the margins are razor thin. I mean, super razor thin. I don't care if you go to the biggest grocery in the United States of America and Walmart. Walmart sells more than 25% of all groceries inside of the United States of America. This is a fact. This is not my opinion. If you look at a Walmart don't really make money off of groceries. And Walmart does an insane amount of sales. Hundreds of billions of dollars of sales to make a razor thin margin of profit, which is one of the reasons why you will see a lot of neighborhood Walmarts, not super centers, neighborhood Walmart grocery stores. They will close before a super center, or they will just continue to cease to exist, or they'll be open until they're not anymore, because Walmart wants to get you into the system. But the reality is that Walmart is using groceries at or below value to get you in the store to buy other things that is actually way more profitable. You go in there and you buy a pair of drawers. You go in there and you buy some video games. You get some electronics, school supplies, so on and so forth. Most people are more likely to go to a Walmart and then browse a store, get their prescriptions from there, while at the same time stealing a cup of groceries, go grab some Gushers. And so the margins are razor, and I mean razor thin. So when y'all go into the neighborhood, now we're going to get into the community aspect of it. When you go into the neighborhood grocery store and you steal stuff, or you go and finesse and y'all do y'all little return scams. Yep, I know y'all got return scams. And they're not arresting you for your return scams because, it's nothing that they could arrest you for. You go in, act like you didn't like it, eat half of it, and then you return it and spend all of your day up in there arguing with the clerk until she give you your money back. People go in there and they steal liquor. They steal liquor. They love stealing liquor. They steal them some liquor. 100%. They're all up in there ringing up bananas and the self-scan and the U-checkouts. Everything is a banana. You bought 77 bananas, only got 2 in the basket, and you got a bunch of steaks in there. And then you use your EBT card in order to be able to buy those. Oh, I'm ringing up kiwis and tomatoes and bananas and green peppers and lettuce. You got 77 pounds of lettuce. And then you look in the basket and it's all ribeye steaks, tomahawk steaks, and 1 piece of lettuce. Facts. Still in racks of ribs. And when you do that inside of communities, eventually you're going to run them to the point to where they are going to close down because it's not a sustainable business model. It's not a sustainable business model. And then the people are now complaining and saying, well, we're in a food desert. This is not right. Everybody has the community right to food.
Neighbors are protesting the loss of a Milwaukee pick and save.
The business, it's closing several locations. Abril Preciado joining us live with a closer look at the community backlash now. It's been pretty strong, especially today.
We have been at this pick and save on North 35th Street, where we can already see that people have been showing up and seeing these wooden boards that are already covering the windows and doors. In the past, the companies, they're closing for the health of the business. Food security.
No matter how much y'all protest, no matter how you put it on your iPhone, you can't protest the business closing that's not profitable.
Accessibility are among the concerns for this group of people as wooden boards cover up windows and doors at the Pick and Save location on 35th in Milwaukee.
This is just heartbreaking that this is happening to our community again, over and over again. Like, this is not fair.
It broke my heart. Like, what is we gonna do? Like, this is the only big grocery store in the community.
In June, the company announced it would close 5.
Does she have a nose ring or a septum? Yep. She got that septum ring in hers too.
Over again. Like, this is not fair.
It broke my heart. Like, what is we gonna do? Like.
Yep. She got it in there too. What's wrong with us? And it's like y'all all listen to each other. Y'all all doing the same thing. Why do y'all got that stupid septum thing? Why? What is that? I don't know what's wrong with them. Why do they got the septum? What's this? Does it help you? Does it help you breathe or whatever? What the hell is going on with our black women?
Like, this is the only
What up,
big
Martina?
grocery store in the community.
In June, the company announced it would close 5 Pick and Save grocery stores in the Milwaukee area, including Glendale, South Milwaukee, and Oak Creek.
A person shouldn't have to leave their house, go all the way over yonder to go make some groceries when
To go make some groceries. Go all the way over yonder. Person shouldn't have to leave their house, go all the way over yonder to make some groceries.
Glendale, South Milwaukee, and Oak Creek.
a person shouldn't have to leave their house, go all the way over yonder to go make some groceries when it could be one right here in the community.
Tisha Bully White says her family is feeling the toll. She feels the closure will force them to shop at more expensive corner stores and price them out altogether.
There is a real concern of what it means to have food security available to neighbors, throughout the whole city. I do believe and stand with the people behind me that food is a right and we should have access to healthy food.
State Senator Dora Drake was present during the rally. She says she is working with local leaders to find a solution.
We can work together.
As doors officially close, families are now left wondering where to go next.
Affordable food for our community, food for our families, food period. How are we going to survive?
A new future where we do not.
And we did company Kroger. We have not heard back. Earlier today, we did see some folks from the Hunger Task out here handing this flyer, telling people that they will be having a mobile food market out here in August. Reporting live in Milwaukee, Abril Preciado, Fox 6.
Turn into a place to ride your bike now as a kid. All right, Abril, thanks. This is not the only pick and save that is closing in Milwaukee, as Abril just reported. Take a look at your screen. Here's a look at the other pick and save locations all throughout the area that are.
It's sad. It's sad. And I told people that, when your communities become a food desert, when y'all protest so much, when you steal so much, when you burn it down. I was having conversations during certain protests where they were burning down the auto zones that never came back, and the food places that a lot of people work in, especially as a young adult and a young teenager. And these places are now becoming food deserts, and you're not able to utilize them as an option in order to go and get your groceries. And guess what? She said that food should be a right. It's not. It's not. Close proximity to going to get your groceries is a luxury. Close proximity to going to get your groceries is a luxury. Now y'all can start y'all farms. Now y'all can go and depend on each other. Now you can go and get mad at the local Chaldean that has the liquor store that also has groceries in there, and he marks it up a little bit more in order for him to be able to make a profit because he had to buy it at a certain price. And then you're going to get mad at him because you shopping for your groceries at the local bodega and you saying that it's too expensive and they accept EBT and all of this stuff. And now you're going to have to deal with him. You can't go and pick and save. You got to go and deal with the local bodega and go and try to negotiate, go back and forth, whining, complaining. I don't know if it's a solution for the community. And more importantly, I'm not sure if I have enough time on my life over the next 50, 60 years to fix something only for it to be torn down after you're gone. Stop stealing, y'all. Stop stealing. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. What was that? That one? There it is. Let me go ahead and read a couple of super chats, and then we're going to go over to Charlamagne, and then we will head over into Apple. Let me stop covering my face. That's crazy. If Milwaukee is going to be a food desert, how will a certain proprietor be able to stock his hot dog cart? I don't know nothing about what you're talking about. Time's Up says, why don't you get new breed global truth on this? I don't even know who you're talking about. Y'all be naming people like I just be familiar with the blackity blacks and all of the protesters and stuff. I don't know what y'all talking about, bro. No idea whatsoever. Jason A Team says people are way too entitled. I don't know how you get by in life with that attitude. Food is not a right, it is your responsibilities and nobody else's. Facts. Olin says Pick and Save is owned by Kroger. They lost the merger with Albertsons and now will be closing over 100 brand stores nationwide. Blueprint Tony says, I live in Milwaukee and they always stole they ghetto. Oh, make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. What did we say? Charlamagne returned the favor and went on Laura Trump's platform on Fox News because Laura Trump actually went on the Breakfast Club during the election campaign. And so he returned the favor and he had a conversation about Laura Trump, about the current job that Trump is doing, which it also includes lower taxes, if he's delivered during the time that he's been in office so far, and if he's actually deporting the right people, including the illegal migrants that may not necessarily be committing crimes after they committed the crime of coming over here across the border illegally. So I thought this would be an interesting conversation. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
All right, well, Charlamagne, I'm so honored to have you here. Thanks for coming on My View.
Laura, thank you for having me. You did Breakfast Club. I had to return the favor.
Yeah, we're trying to reciprocate. I appreciate that very much. So look, we're 6 months into President Trump's second term in office. Now, I know you've been critical. You've had your bones to pick with President Trump. If you took his name out of it and looked solely at what has happened, the policies and the things that have changed around the world and in our country over the first 6 months, how do you rate his presidency so far?
I wouldn't give it a good rating,
Why not?
Simply because, the least of us are still being impacted the worst. Like when you look at something like, the big, beautiful bill, that's something that, I'm going to benefit from because of the tax bracket that I'm in. But, there's going to be so many people that's hurt by that bill. And, anything that, takes away Medicaid from people and is going to put people in a worse financial situation than, they were previously in, I'm not for. And, he ran on that. Like, he ran on, the economy. He ran on saying that, grocery prices were going to be down and,
That has happened.
No.
Inflation is trending down. And by the way, Medicaid, we want to make sure that people who are not.
Charlamagne says no. No. Well, it's a way for us to be able to find this out and figure it out. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of research right now. Because this is the reason. It's funny because they say I wouldn't be able to stand in front of this guy. He doesn't even know that inflation is much different than when Biden was in office. He has no clue that inflation is much different than when Biden was in office. Okay, well then let's talk about it. Inflation is around 2% today. As of June, this is they haven't actually released the data for July yet. But it's around 2.5% to 2.7% inflation. All right, that's not my opinion. As of July 2015, on July 15, 2025, inflation was at 2.7%. The final accounting on Biden inflation, according to Yahoo Finance. Inflation turned out to be the surprise villain of Joe Biden's 4-year presidency. It arrived with little warning in 2021, hit a 40-year high in 2022, and undoubtedly contributed to Vice President Kamala Harris's loss in 2024. A lot of people don't realize that inflation was little lower than 2% when Trump left office. Inflation was at a little lower than 2%. That's what Trump handed Biden. It hit a 40-year high in 2022. Overall inflation was 21.2% during the 4 years Biden was in office. Earnings rose by 19.4%. So the typical family did in fact fall behind during Biden's presidency. Conversely, during Trump's 4 years prior to that, over the entire lifespan, inflation only rose by 7.9%, meaning that it averaged around a little less than 2% for the entire time that Trump was in office the first time. And now, hold on, let me see something. In 2022, the peak of Biden's presidency, the U.S. experienced a significant surge of inflation, reaching levels not seen in 4 decades. The Consumer Price Index peaked at 9.1% increase in June 2022, the largest 12-month increase since 1981. That is a fact. This is not our opinion. This is 100% a fact. All right? This is unfortunate. CPI report from March 2022, inflation had hit 8.5% in the United States, the fastest 12-month pace since 1981, a surge in gasoline prices, so on and so forth, blah, 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 blah. So when you see Charlamagne say stuff like, well, no, that's not true. A simple Google search will actually be your friend. All right? So for a lot of people that sit here and think that this guy is the mouthpiece for the black community and or truly understand politics, Charlamagne waits on talking points from people in the Democrat Party so that he'll be able to have a conversation, hopefully. But it's no way he can actually. Do y'all remember when Laura Trump went on the Breakfast Club and she absolutely demolished the Breakfast Club?
Inflation is trending down. And by the way, Medicaid, we want to make sure that people who are not actual recipients or shouldn't be getting Medicaid are off of Medicaid so it can actually benefit more people. There is good stuff in that bill, though. You have the 2017 tax cuts that are made permanent, and that really is for everybody.
For who, though?
But that's for everyone. Everyone in this country is impacted by that. You also have things, by the way, like money going to school choice for parents all across this country. Mm-hmm. There is a lot of good that I think will come out of the big, beautiful bill. But what about things like...
Right now, people are hurting. And he campaigned on immediate change, day one change.
And you don't think you felt any change? People aren't feeling change.
No.
Do you feel safer knowing that Iran will not have the ability to develop a nuclear weapon?
Iran?
Yeah.
Sure. I feel safe if you're telling me that a country won't have the ability to build a nuclear weapon.
Do you feel better knowing our borders closed?
Yes.
Okay, so there
don't get me wrong. There's certain things that I absolutely, understood. Like, as far as, border security. But I understood border security for different reasons. Like, people were complaining about the border because they felt like people were coming into, the country and, taking jobs away from people in certain areas and certain communities. And that is the conversation that I had been hearing, for the past year and a half prior to the election. I understand that, but I want to see the criminals and illegal immigrants, actually deported.
Well, that's happening.
Not people who are here, trying to go through the process of.
You do realize that the people that Trump is deporting are illegal immigrants, right? He wants to see criminals and illegal immigrants deported. Word out of his own mouth.
And that, but for the past year and a half prior to the election, I understand that, but I want to see the criminals and illegal immigrants, actually deported. Not
are liberals and Democrats actually listening to the words that come out of their mouth before they jump on these platforms? Like, do they not know that when you actually get on a platform like this, that you're saying the exact thing that the Trump administration is doing? Like, word for word, you're describing the success of the Trump administration by saying this is what you want. That is exactly what is happening. Do they listen to what's coming out of their mouth? Honest to God.
That's happening.
Not people who are here, trying to go through the process of being in this country legally. Like when you see people actually getting deported and getting detained, and they're actually trying to go through the process of being American citizens, that's not right.
Well, we're allowing those people to leave. They actually get money to leave, and then they get to reapply to come back here the right way. So,
but leave and go where?
They go back to their home country, and then they
what if they've never even been to that country?
Well, they have been to that country. That's where they came here from. But let me ask you this. Hold on.
Some of them haven't, though. A lot of them haven't.
I don't know.
I've seen a lot of cases of people getting deported.
Well, some went to El Salvador who are from Venezuela, but those people have now been sent back to Venezuela. Let me ask you about how the Democrats have responded, though, in the first 6 months of this presidency. How do you rate their response? Because it feels like to a lot of people watching, they don't really have an alternative. And it's a lot of, we hate this because Donald Trump is trying to do it. What do you think of how they've reacted?
When you look at Democrats' approval rating in this country, when you look at Republicans' approval rating in this country, you see that Americans are just fed up with it all. Like, Democrats suck. We know that already, though. You know what I mean? So it's like, I knew that Trump would probably get in office again and fumble, but I also knew that Democrats wouldn't have the team put together properly to recover the ball. So what you're seeing right now from just American people is just a backlash to everything. People want something different.
Well,
This is nothing different than what we experienced during the election. When you ask specifically about what do you think about the job that Democrats are doing, who is it that you actually think is doing a good job during Trump's first 6, 7, 8 months inside of office? You know what? I was trying to figure out who would sit there and talk about Trump. It's Trump. Democrats have Trump derangement syndrome. Democrats have Trump derangement syndrome. They can't even stand on their own. They have no policies. They have no solutions. Their cities are crumbling. They can't balance their budget. The people hate them. They also focus on diversity, equity, and inclusion and keeping you distracted. And then whenever you ask them a question is, I don't like Trump. It is Trump derangement syndrome.
I was on your show back in, I think it was October of last year. You told me that you would have been happy to have voted for Kamala Harris as the nominee for the Democrat Party. I want to ask you, do you still feel that way? Do you think she was the best representative and the best person for the Democrats in their chance to have a president this term?
Yes, I would have voted for, I did vote for Vice President Kamala Harris. But absolutely. Because, if you look right now, she's looking pretty good because a lot of the things that she said, President Trump would do, he actually did. And, I did a segment on The Daily Show, after he became president. I was like, prove people wrong. Everything that everybody is saying about you, everything that they say you're going to do, all you got to do is simply not do.
And you think that he would be able to stand in front of me? You believe in your heart and your soul and your heart of hearts that this guy would be able to stand a chance in front of me?
But he did it anyway.
Well, let me ask you.
Not like he was listening to me. I'm just simply saying.
He listens to everyone. He takes input from all around. So Kamala Harris, listen to this. She now says that she is not going to seek becoming governor of California. Here's her statement. She says, for now, my leadership and public service will not be in elected office. I look forward to getting back out and listening to the American people, helping elect Democrats across the nation who will fight fearlessly and sharing more details in the months ahead about my own plan. Charlamagne, if you look at what Democrat primary voters think about some of the candidates, look at where Kamala Harris falls. She's number 2, right here behind Pete Buttigieg. Do you think she should run for president again?
She can do whatever she wants. I don't personally know if I would run for president if I was her. And if she does, she has to get a real connection with the people. I think that's something that she's always been missing. If you look at from 2020 to now, whenever you see her, it always seems like it's transactional, right? Like she ran for president, so she was trying to get, people's attention for that. Then she became vice president. Then she became the actual nominee. People have never seen the VP just out having a conversation, doing what she says she wants to do right there, which is just being of service to the people in that way. And I think she just needs to establish a real connection with the people. I think any of those candidates that are attempting to run need to establish a real connection with the people. And I think that you do it by doing things like this. Like, you have to show up.
All right. That's nice. All right. So now that you guys got a little better view of of what you think makes sense and how he would 100% be head and shoulders above and all of this stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, Charlamagne the God. All right. This reminds me of why Trump won in the first place. This rhetoric is one of the reasons why I will always remember Trump to be a victor during this time, because I remember why I made so much money during the election. And I also remember why it was so easy to convince people why the Democrat Party was against them, because of people like this. That was a representation of it. You had Al Sharpton, you had Ricky Smiley, you had Meg Thee Stallion, you had Charlamagne the God, you had not Umar Johnson. You had several different people with huge platforms. Steve Harvey, all of these guys, the who's who of the boule. They were all for and the mouthpiece for Kamala Harris. And it was so easy to predict that was going to be a loss. I wish I would have had bet money on it. And I would have made a gajillion dollars as a result of it, Charlamagne. But he is doing well financially and in his business. Can't take that from him. Kanisha Johnson says, did you get my email? If not, I'll send it on X. You can send it to me on X or send it to me again in email or both. So that I can have it at the top. I'm pretty sure I got it. Time's Up says jobs numbers for the last 2 months have been inflated. Okay, I'll have to research that and get into that. Smarty McFly says Charlamagne ain't Black Biden, so. Raymond the Goat says Charlamagne needs to study his script a little more. Yeah, I mean, he does average for what most people talk about on the Democrat side from the black community. Set Apart Soldier says it gets worth with Charlamagne's Donkey of the Day response to Trump. I don't really review Breakfast Club stuff like that anymore. It's just not appealing to me. All right. Let's get into Trump's tariffs. Several different companies were affected from Trump's tariffs, including Apple. First, Apple recorded blowout earnings from increased activity and increased demand from the iPhone. All right. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. This was a blowout quarter for Apple. And of course, we are going to review all of the earnings in Stock Club next week, but tap in and let's see what they got to say.
We got to get to our Steve Kovac with the numbers for Apple. Steve.
Yeah, John, and shares are moving up. It's just a knockout quarter, really blowing away Wall Street's expectations here. Let me give you the numbers. EPS was a beat at $1.57. Street wanted to see $1.43. Revenue also a beat here. Really strong revenue quarter, $94.04 billion. Street.
All right, let me just bring y'all up to speed because I know a lot of y'all not a part of the Patreon. And we got 18,000 people that's a part of the Patreon. So I'm guessing that the majority of y'all are familiar and you do know what some of these terms are. But just so you know, so that you don't think that you're falling behind or that, you don't get it and all of this stuff. All of this is just jargon. It's just lingo. When he says EPS, that is earnings per share, okay? Earnings per share. We're going to do a no man left behind today. Earnings per share. That is the amount of earnings. Follow me. So, for example, if they made, let's just use a flat number, $100 billion in a particular quarter, and they say, well, we've made this earnings per share. They're not going to say we made $100 billion in revenue, right? They're going to say we made this per share. That means how many shares outstanding, okay? That means how many shares do you have out there in the marketplace? And then you divide how much you made in revenue by how many shares you have outstanding. And that's how much per share you made in profit that quarter. All right. So if I have $1 million, right? If I made $1 million and I have 4 shareholders, I'm going to try to make it as easy as possible for you guys. If I made $1 million in that quarter and I have 4 shareholders, that means I made $250,000 per share. That's my earnings per share. Okay. So you take how much the company made in total and you divide it by how many shares that you have outstanding that is out there in the marketplace, and that is how much you've made per share. That is the EPS. A lot of times, and the reason that I'm also saying this and breaking this down is because a lot of times what happens is in technology, in corporate America, in the marketplace and analyst earnings calls and all of this, they have this jargon and it'll sometimes, it'll dissuade you or it'll discourage you from actually wanting to participate in learning more about it. Some people are encouraged and they say, oh, what is that? I want to find that out. Oh, what is this? I want to learn more. Oh, what is this? I want to figure this out. Well, and other people, they get discouraged because they think that everybody is smarter than them. Let me tell you something. These people are not smarter than you. They talk fast. Listen to me. They talk fast and they use the jargon, and it makes it seem like you don't know what you're talking about. When you start to break it down and you start to actually understand what they're talking about, you'll realize, oh, that's just a quick term that they're using. Okay? I'm not going to deep dive into it any more than just the basics of the jargon and the lingo. I want to get more into the actual substance of the conversation. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. I break everything down from a C student's perspective so that you can understand it and know why you should invest in certain things and why we invest in certain things, including showing you my portfolio also. But let's continue.
Wanted to see $89.53 billion. That, by the way, 10% year-over-year growth and the best quarterly year-over-year growth we've seen at Apple since the December 2021 quarter. iPhone also a beat. You were just talking about seeing growth there. That is up 13% to $44.58 billion for iPhone.
Chris Campbell, let me tell you something. I don't know if you're new here, but I don't really respond to people with no profile picture because it gives me the impression that people are jerking off, that you're a jerk off artist and that you just troll. You got to get a profile picture so I can see exactly who I'm talking to, and then I'll address your issues.
Revenue. Street wanted to see $40.22 billion. Services also continuing that growth streak, $27.42 billion compared to the $26.8 billion expected. And China is back to growth, John. It's up 4% for the quarter to $15.37 billion. We see shares here reacting to this up about 2%. I'll send it back over to you.
All right. Thank you. Patrick Moorhead, let me get back to you on this. Look, I'm sure we'll have plenty to talk to you about it.
So Apple did a record-breaking June quarter. So quarter, obviously, meaning that they report 4 times per year. And they did a record-breaking fiscal quarter that ended June 28th, reported late last week in the beginning of August. And Apple made roughly $94 billion in revenue, which includes a 10% year-over-year increase. That means that if you compare Apple's quarter of what people were spending last year at this exact same time versus this year, they made 10% more and they made $94 billion in revenue. Okay? They killed it. They absolutely ran up a bag. iPhone revenue was $44.6 billion. Again, I'm not going to deep dive into this because I break all of this down inside of the Patreon, exactly what this looked like on the charts. Mac, services, iPad, wearables. I can't wait till Stock Club next week because we are really going to reallocate our portfolio based off of the trends. But one of the things, and this is the thing that I want to talk about here, right? I just wanted to give you the premise of what's going on, all right? One of the things that I want to talk about that's outside of revenue is tariffs, okay? Tariffs. Why are tariffs important? Because the Trump administration said that they wanted Apple to actually invest more in the United States of America. We want a bigger slice of the pie. We want American workers making the products that we buy, that overwhelmingly we buy here in the United States of America. And we are going to absolutely, positively talk about the $800 million that the Trump administration made on tariffs on Apple because Steve Jobs is not accelerating his investment inside of the United States of America as fast as he should have.
Back to Steve Kovac, who's got more from Apple. Steve.
Hey there, Mel. Yeah, I was just listening to the earnings call, and Tim Cook gave us some more color on the tariff impact for Apple. So for the June quarter, it was an $800 million in tariff-related costs, they said. They had originally guided towards $900 million, so a little bit better than expected. As for the September quarter, it's going to go up. They're now expecting $1.1 billion in tariff-related costs, warning that this is assuming all the rates stay the same as they are and there are no further changes. Obviously, tomorrow is the August 1st deadline. We might see some rate changes for different countries, including China, Vietnam, and others, and India, that do impact Apple. And also, Cook saying on the call about tariffs, they're not going to be guiding beyond the September quarter just because of all the volatility we've been seeing in these changing tariff rates and the whole back and forth there. So $1.1 billion, that's the headline number for tariff-related costs for the September quarter. Apple.
Somebody said, we still don't know. I can't mention your name. I can't bring you up on the screen because you don't have a profile picture. You said, we still don't know who tariffs will be passed on to yet. The companies. Your costs are not going up. They are not increasing the cost of iPhones. They have to maintain market domination because it strategically pours into the other things that they need them to pour into. So, for example, all right, iPhone. It is important for them to sell as many iPhones as possible, and they had a blowout quarter for iPhones. They are willing to eat the $800 million tariff because they have to maintain market dominance in selling iPhones. Why do they have to maintain market dominance with iPhones? Well, because iPhones also feeds into the services division, and they can't sell you services unless you are a part of the Apple ecosystem. And so they don't even want you to think about going over to another provider, another ecosystem, because it is the hardest thing in the world to get people to leave the ecosystem or to come back from another ecosystem once they've been integrated as far as all of their applications and their phones and the way in which they work on a daily basis. So you asked, who is going to be the people that eat these tariffs? The company, Tim Cook, Apple is going to eat the tariffs until they comply and they make the investment that they need to make inside of the United States of America to ensure that they are manufacturing more products here. That is going to take more engineering. That is going to take more cost cutting. That is going to take more deal making. They're going to have to get materials at a cheaper cost. They're going to have to do a lot of things. But Trump is serious, and he was not playing any games when he said that these companies will have to pay if they don't manufacture their products inside of the United States of America. Anything that comes back over here to be sold to American consumers. We used to live by a creed that says made by and sold inside of the United States of America, manufactured by Americans for Americans. Manufactured by Americans to sell to other countries.
Guiding towards right now, Mel.
Have they talked at all about how they're going to mitigate those costs in terms of, I mean, there's a wide belief and expectation probably that iPhone costs will go higher, at least by $50 a phone.
Yeah, we haven't gotten there yet. I imagine that will come up in the Q&A a little bit. But yes, that is one lever they do have to pull, is obviously increasing costs. We heard a quarter ago, of course, shifting some of the supply from India into the United States. India, of course, has that lower tariff rate. Still not enough supply coming out of India to fulfill all the demand we have here in the U.S. So there's still got to be a little bit workarounds there. So we'll see as the call goes on if they do talk about price increases and things like that. I would be a little surprised if they talked about that before the big September announcement of the next crop of iPhones, though, Melissa.
So the point is that Trump is not playing games. It's a lot of companies that are suffering as a result of tariffs. Ford Motor Company, they took a huge hit on tariffs. General Motors reported they take a huge hit on tariffs. Again, I'm not going to talk too much about it here on the Millionaire Morning Show. We're going to deep dive into that on Stock Club because we got a lot of charts to read inside of Stock Club. So I don't want to bore you with those details. But what we found is that General Motors has now shifted almost all of its pickup truck production. Chrysler has shifted all of its HD truck production back to the United States of America, which also gives more work for members of the UAW and the engineering teams. And so now they are racing. They are racing to now build more plants, add more manufacturing capacity, and increase in American jobs. And they've completely idled some of their plants over there in Mexico. And I think that that is a phenomenal thing. Again, make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. What is this, 4? All right. Let me read a couple of super chats, and then we're going to go over to American Eagle. American Eagle was the big talk of this weekend. And so I want to deep dive into that. Actually, American Eagle and Dunkin' Donuts. EJ Rogers says, in the South, we call it fast talking. Facts. Smarty McFly says, my bad, Charlamagne ain't black. Biden said so. What up, Smarty McFly? All right, y'all. I want to get over into this American Eagle conversation because this is the talk that dominated social media and social media backlash. And I'm going to get it from both the liberal side and we're going to get it to the Republican side. I'm not going to get into the narrative that was happening on social media. I already broke that down. But I do want to have this conversation, right? And again, it's that Sydney Sweeney, who I personally was not even familiar with. Sydney Sweeney is now the spokesperson for American Eagle. This is her. They consider her to be incredibly beautiful. Gorgeous even, they say. Sydney Sweeney is gorgeous. Oh my God. And so the name of the campaign has Great Genes. That is the name of the campaign. It is the Great Genes campaign. And you can substitute Genes, G-E-N-E, with Gene, J-E-A-N. All right. And so Genes versus Genes. You get it? The play on words. Anyways, the marketing campaign was allegedly doing what it was supposed to do and generating great conversation. But there was one group of people, liberal, specifically black women, that were absolutely upset. And they took to TikTok and Instagram and said, I'm not going to American Eagle to buy my jeans anymore. I didn't even know that black women bought jeans from American Eagle like that. But here was the main campaign right here. And this is the American Eagle campaign.
I'm not here to tell you to buy American Eagle jeans. And I definitely won't say that they're the most comfortable jeans I've ever worn. Or that they make your...
Shout out to the flatbacks. Shout out to the flatbacks. And she's not even a flatback. She's more like... This is one of those things where it could be a hidden gem in there. All right. It could be a hidden gem. And the hidden gem could be, well, I'm not going to get into, because the daycare and all of that is here. However, we are going to talk about this on the Q show tonight because I want to get everybody's opinion. I don't even know why people are tripping. Like, it's not even that big of a deal. It's not this. I'm cool with this. You know what I'm saying? This is enough for me. I would prefer to have it smaller and all of that, so I'm not tripping about that or whatever. But this is not that big of a deal. You know what I'm saying? This is not that big of a deal. It's not Mika-ish. You don't have no Mika back in here. But again, we talking about good jeans. Now, this is a better picture. But again, let's get into it. Let's talk about it.
That they're the most comfortable jeans I've ever worn. Or that they make your butt look amazing. Why would I need to do that? But if you said that you want to buy the jeans, I'm not going to stop you. But just so we're clear, this is not me telling you to buy American Eagle jeans.
Sydney Sweeney has very jeans.
You see what
That ad, regardless of whether you agree with it or not, people are going crazy. I'm going to play it one more time in its entirety to see what you guys think about it. People are going crazy and saying, oh my God, they're insinuating eugenics. They're talking racist. I can't believe it. American Eagle, I don't want to buy their jeans anymore.
I'm not here to tell you to buy American Eagle jeans. And I definitely won't say that they're the most comfortable jeans I've ever worn. Or that they make your butt look amazing. Why would I need to do that? But if you said that you want to buy the jeans, I'm not gonna stop you. But just so we're clear, this is not me telling you to buy American Eagle jeans.
Sydney Sweeney has very keen.
You see?
That was the ad that absolutely just tore the whole world apart. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Oh, Jesus, look at all of the racism in the ad. And so people went to town. They absolutely, positively got angry. They got mad. They said this 27-second spot and commercial pissed me off. Everything is racist. That's the name of the show. Everything is racist. Jeans are racist. People are racist. This shirt. AD, why you don't have a black shirt with white letters? Why you got a white shirt with black letters? Because this shirt is racist. Ralph Lauren Oak Bluffs, racist. Dunkin' Donuts, racist. Everything. I didn't even see the Dunkin' Donuts ad, to be honest with you. Let me see. Have y'all seen the ad that they said that Dunkin' Donuts is racist? Oh, I just got it right here. All right, let me pull it up. This is the Dunkin' Donuts ad that everybody is going crazy about. Y'all ready? Everybody said they boycotting Dunkin' Donuts and everything is racist. This is it. Is this what y'all mad at? Keita, I'm lost too. Maybe it's just because I'm a C student. Maybe. No, this is the original commercial. Dog, do y'all know that the majority of the people that own Dunkin' Donuts be, I think it's Indians? Indians are the ones that be at the Dunkin' Donuts ownership. So if they the ones, why they didn't get mad? How come Indians get the ones that selling Dunkin' Donuts? Why they didn't get mad? It's just crazy. It's just crazy. Anyways, so those were the two commercials that everybody said that they wanted to boycott. And this is what the liberal view is of it. This is courtesy of NBC. All right.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring.
The latest front in the culture wars is leaving viewers distressed.
My genes are blue.
An ad released by brand American Eagle in July features Hollywood star Sydney Sweeney, blonde hair, blue eyes, and in classic American denim. But it's not the jeans sparking backlash, rather the message.
Sydney Sweeney has great genes.
While American Eagle says proceeds from the limited release Sydney jean will go towards a mental health nonprofit, the campaign's language struck a dissonant chord with some viewers.
Those Sydney Sweeney American Eagle ads are weird, like fascist weird.
Now look at the symbolism. Septum ring.
Those Sydney Sweeney.
That's because, let me tell you what it is. Let me tell you what it is. When I see this, especially from a liberal apologist, and this is the honest to God truth, a gay liberal apologist, that's why you see the flag in the background, that is wearing a septum ring, and it is super liberal. And Sydney Sweeney also recently came out and said that she was conservative. It's because they are jealous. They are jealous. 100%. 100%. This is no different than men hating on other men that got money. This is no different than men that hate on other men because they tall. This is no different than men that hate on other men because they got motion. It's all jealousy. It's all hate and jealousy. It's the double chin. It's the flag in the background. It's the septum ring. And it's the headphones, the earphones, headphones, because they got to get on that call center job and they are pissed. They are angry. This is nothing but pure 100% hatred, jealousy. 1,000% jealousy.
Like Nazi propaganda weird.
Let's talk about that American Eagle Sydney Sweeney ad and eugenicist dog whistles.
The backlash, swift.
My jeans are superior, and by that, I mean white.
With even some celebrities taking aim at the ad.
Jeans are passed down from parents to offspring.
American Eagle now responding to the controversy, posting on Friday in part, great jeans look good on everyone. But critics are also getting critiqued. The White House's communications director characterizing the backlash as, quote, cancel culture run amok, with Republican Senator Ted Cruz saying the criticism amounts to the crazy left coming out against beautiful women. Even Vice President J.D. Vance weighing in.
My political advice to the Democrats is continue to tell everybody who thinks Sydney Sweeney is attractive is a Nazi. That appears to be their actual strategy.
Why do you think this ad has resonated and perhaps stirred a little controversy from so many people?
This one is driving attention for the wrong reasons, for controversy, for either being not clever enough, or on the opposite end of that spectrum, for being downright offensive, maybe even racist.
Now, other brand ads are under scrutiny too. Dunkin' releasing a spot this week.
This tan? Genetics.
The company's comment sections now filled with similar critiques. One user asking, why are ads so obsessed with genetics all of a sudden? And competing apparel brand Abercrombie & Fitch releasing their own campaign.
I'm here with Abercrombie today on set in New York City. I'm having the best time ever.
Some users saying, quote, I'm so glad Abercrombie is showing different sized models. And
I hate woke culture. I hate everything about it. I hate everything about diversity. I hate everything about diversity, equity, and inclusion. I hate everything about it, bro. I genuinely hate everything about woke culture. Oh man, let's go get us a big back so that we can show the opposite side of it. Thank you, Abercrombie, where everyone has good genes. I'm so glad that Abercrombie is showing people that don't like salads with extra dressing on it, models that have so many girls, because if they don't make my size, yes, they do. Come on, man. Come on, bro. Stop, bro. Stop calling listen. I don't care if you make jeans for big backs need jeans too. I don't care what you do. All I'm saying is stop calling everything racist. That's all I'm saying. Stop calling everything racist. Everything is not racist just because you don't agree with it. Everything is not racist just because you feeling some type of way about it. Everything is not racist. Listen, Bronny James is jumping out the gym. That is just genetics. That's purely because of the person who was his father. And that is a blessing. And I'm not going to hate on that. I actually support Bronny James going to get the bag. He actually developed beautifully from last year to this year, especially when you consider Summer League. It just is what it is. Guess what? E.J. Johnson, Magic Johnson's son, had all of the genetics to follow in his father's footsteps, and he decided to wear heels. It's genetics. It just is what it is. That's how God designed us. This part of your DNA is going to be just a part of this, and that's just the way to the part of that. Y'all got to stop being so jealous, and everything is not racism. Everything is not racist. Everything is not somebody against you. They not trying to stop you. If y'all learn how to love yourself, and this is I ain't even gonna get to what Trump said, because Trump praised Sydney Sweeney and all of that and so on and so forth. All right. But let me wrap wrap this part of the segment up because we got one more segment that we got to get into. If y'all learn to love things that's awesome about yourself, you wouldn't be so busy trying to be jealous about what somebody else is doing and have. If you learn to love what's awesome and unique about you, Sydney Sweeney, she got regular girl booty vibes, European booty vibes. Cool. And that's a European beauty standard. But guess what? You nice and dark and curvy, and as long as you reserve your caloric intake and stop saying that you're big boned, then you won't be able to sit there and blame everything on, oh my God, they're so racist. Fam, nothing affects you. I promise you, the gene ad is not focused on you. Figure out what makes you unique. If you a smart person, lean into that. It's people that would kill for the level of intellect that some people have. If you're tall, lean into that. If you get a lot of this, lean into that. If you got green eyes, lean into that. Bruh, the thing that you jealous of them about, they jealous of you about. Everybody is unique in their own way. And as long as you do the best that you possibly can, you don't have to be hating or be jealous on somebody else for getting money or being white or being black or being curvy or being skinny or whatever it is. Don't be sassy. All right. That's the one thing that you don't be. Don't be sassy, and let's work on having great health, and don't get a septum ring, and don't be liberal, and don't be really dark with BDB brown hair as a man. But other than that, for the most part, everything else, man, we can figure that junk out, bro. We can figure that junk out. All of this jealousy is wild. Did I tell y'all when I tried bootcut jeans before? For those of you that may be new here, that's a story for another day. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. People are literally jealous over jeans? Really? Eric Wealth Harris says, that's a beautiful white girl. See, Eric Wealth Harris liked the white girls. People literally buy her bath water. Wow, really, Mark the Guardian? Hey, listen, go get it then. Skinny Boy Django Morrison says, I'm in Youngstown, Ohio. So many places to put your manufacturing business. President Trump is making the right moves with the tariffs. Yeah. Kay Cooper in the building says, they mad at this heterosexual man who is married to a woman. He speaks about Christ, and the liberals don't like it. What? When? Send it to me, Kay Cooper. You send that to me ASAP. Aaron Boyd says, that the wrong ad, AD. You got to go find a Sydney Sweetie has great jeans one. I seen it, bro. It's not. Laquan Ruiz. Thank you, Laquan. I appreciate you. Mika say, AD, I covered this. And liberal white women went nuts when they don't like her. They don't like her and they're mad. Also, the Dunkin' Donuts one too went up on my channel, white back. Yo, I don't understand what the problem is, Mika. Blueprint Tony says, this is the result of anyone giving a space to complain. Jerry says, here's a crazy idea. Lose some weight. Sifo says, I'm at Dunkin' as we speak getting a latte. Talk to him, Sifo. Eric Wealth Harris says, Magic Johnson's son wasted those good jeans are sad. That's what I be mad at. That's what I be mad at. Be like, dog, you can't tell me that you 6'11" and you got the skill set of your father, Magic Johnson, and you wasted all 6'11" of that? Now, that's what I be pissed at. Like, dog, don't tell me you just wasted talent. Don't tell me you just big. You big and 350 for no reason, and you ain't never picked up a basketball? Now that pissed me off. That'll piss me. Have y'all seen EJ? I ain't even gonna do it. I ain't even gonna do it. I can't do it, bro. How tall is EJ? Let me see something. Oh, yeah. He's 6'10". He's 6'10". He's just as tall as his daddy. Yes, he is. Looking just like. You think they need to see EJ? All right, I'll pull him up. Don't worry. There he is. This might be an old picture because I think he might have been younger on this one. Let me get a better picture. See if I can get a better one. More recent. Let's see if I can get. Let me give y'all show y'all a better one.
Children. Now Magic's second son, Elvin Johnson III, popped out on June 4th, 1992. He's Magic's kid.
Why Magic Johnson?
Magic Johnson's children.
There you go. And there you go. All right. So let's move on to the y'all ready to move on to the next? Oh man. All I could do is present the information. Oh man. No, ladies, I don't want to hear it. As y'all said that this was y'all best friends. And y'all love them. Y'all love them. Y'all love y'all a man that is that. Y'all love it. Y'all love it. Y'all love it. Y'all love it. All right. Last thing that I want to talk about before we get out of here is we got to talk about shares. We want to talk about the money. All right. I only want to spend literally 10 minutes on this. And then I'm going to get y'all out of here because I got to do two live streams tonight, including a Patreon live stream. And then we back at it tomorrow. I will say that tomorrow, I think we might do the live stream a little bit earlier, or we might just do it at 11, just a little bit earlier because I got to catch a flight tomorrow and get out of here. But anyways, let's continue on with the show. Last but not least, Tesla approves Elon Musk's 96 million shares. I just got to do a little bit of calculation. Tesla's at $309 a share today, up almost 2.5%. $309. 309 times 96 million. Oh my God. I don't even care about money no more. I don't even care about the money no more. It don't even matter. It don't even matter. But I'm going to just have the conversation just for the sake of conversation. All right. So let's deep dive into it. Make sure I hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications.
Okay, we've got some breaking news just for you right now from Tesla. You'll remember back in 2018, Tesla had put together a compensation package for Elon Musk that was struck down by a judge now twice, despite shareholders voting twice in favor of that deal. Well, the board has approved a new deal, a bit of what they're describing as a make-good deal. They've approved a plan to pay him 96 million shares temporarily as this case and their appeal continues. Now, 96 million shares is the equivalent of about $30 billion. This would be a $30 billion make good. It represents about 3% of the entire company's shares as part of the original transaction or compensation deal that was agreed upon back in 2018. He would have received, given the milestones that he surpassed, the equivalent of close to $90 billion or 9% of the company. And you'll recall that we talked about how at the time the package seemed almost impossible to achieve. He did achieve it. The shareholders voted on it twice, but a judge has disagreed with that. This plan would be, quote unquote, prospective rather than retrospective. You're not effectively allowed to pay for previous work. As part of this deal, he would be paid and those shares would vest over a 2-year term. As part of that, he would not be allowed to sell the shares, however, for another 5 years. So even though he'd be paid those shares today, he can't sell those shares for the next 5 years. He can pledge those shares so that he can effectively take out loans to pay for the taxes on the vesting of those shares. So it actually mirrors very similarly the way the original 2018 plan was set up. And if you remember, he has not been paid $1 since the 2017 plan effectively ended. I remember talking to both of you that morning in Davos when I ultimately broke that story, that to me this was the most shareholder-friendly plan that exists. You either get paid or you don't, and it's a true pay for performance. They are saying, though, this is just a down payment, and if, in fact, the court were to approve the appeal, meaning if they were to win on appeal on the original deal, which is still in flux, this deal would go away. So effectively, there would not be a double dip in terms of how the transaction would take place. And I would also just point you to a sentence that I do think is interesting, because clearly they're starting to think not just about paying him a third, which is this $30 billion deal, but they're trying to think about what the future holds in terms of what comes next. And there's an allusion to the fact that they are reading everybody's tweets and X's. These are shareholder tweets and X's, and how they're thinking about all of these things, and also what they say is important to Elon in terms of trying to focus his energies. I think there's going to be a lot of people reading that sentence saying, well, what is it that they can do to align? They're saying that they want to keep Elon focused, and it's a first step towards achieving that goal. You might say, well, what's the next step? And they say that they are working on next steps to address that issue. There's been a lot of speculation. We've talked about it on the air before about whether potentially a Tesla could make an investment, for an example, in an XAI as another way to potentially, focus his energies. He's talked a lot about AI being the future both of Tesla, but of course he owns XAI. XAI now is actually a service that lives to some degree inside of Tesla, because they have some of those features now available on the cars. It wouldn't surprise me.
So he's basically licensing a company that he created to the company that he's running, in which he's getting a payout for that also. Jesus fucking Christ. All right, so let me break down Elon Musk compensation, all right? Back in the 2010s, essentially, Elon Musk agreed to a compensation package that was tied directly to the performance of the stock and the performance of the country of the company. So he had to hit multiple different targets, including sales targets, including manufacturing targets, including stock price targets. And the reason why shareholders, because if you go in the comments of even this video right here, people are saying, pay him his money. Pay that man, pay him his money. Pay that man his money. The reason why they are saying pay this man his money is because the shareholders got rich at the same time that Elon Musk got rich, because his compensation was not end all be all based off of whatever it is that he agreed to, regardless of what the performance of the company was. His compensation was basically help all of us get rich, and then we reward you with this huge stock compensation plan. Or if you don't hit your performance sales targets, which would have made us rich, then you don't really get a compensation at all. So why is this relevant? Why is this significant? Why is this a big deal? It's a big deal because it's not really about Elon Musk that we're preaching about right here. We're preaching about the learned lessons that come along with executive compensation and the risks that come along with starting your own company or being successful. If I was to bring in a CEO of my company and I say, listen, you take me to 5 million subscribers and you also drive me to $1 million a month in revenue, right? While at the same time reducing the amount of money that we spend in order to get there, then I will give you 10% of what it is that we generate. And then other people would say, well, that's insane, man, because you're paying this guy over $1 million a year in order to run a company. Well, why wouldn't I pay him? Because his compensation is directly tied to the performance of the company. And so if I get richer, then I don't mind giving him a percentage of the revenue, because that is how executive compensation is set up. So if you look at most CEOs, CFOs, CTOs, and so on and so forth, and this is why I think that these UAW contracts and all of that, they're outdated, they're archaic, they're dinosaur contracts, because people don't want to be paid commensurate of what the performance of the company is. If you go to a startup, right, the reason why people get rich when a company IPOs, when it debuts as a public, initial public offering, is because they take less money to work for the IPO in hopes that the company will either A, be sold, or B, IPO and blow up, and that would make them incredibly rich. What people don't talk about is the amount of companies that go bust and people don't wind up making anything as a result of it. So basically, he bet on himself. He believed in what he was doing. He believed in his engineering capabilities. He believed in his ability to drive the company to higher heights and to have a greater stock price and so on and so forth. And I think that it's going to be even higher. I think that it's going to be even higher. Let me also give you some insight. Yakar actually said it inside of the chat. I'm going to emphasize it here. All right. It's not just about that. It's also about the idea that you can't sell the stocks for 5 years, meaning that you just can't take your stock compensation and run. You can't pump and dump. You got to set the company up for success even after you're here, or 5 years after you get rewarded this tranche or this set of equity inside of the company. So most executives, they work for the bonuses, they work for the equity. They don't care about the base salary. The base salary is to get you by. That's what they don't mind paying taxes on. Your car said it inside of the chat. You can borrow against your shares and equity in the company because it's actually anything can be used as collateral. Any asset can be used as collateral. So now if you borrow against the shares, you actually don't even really have to pay taxes on it. Why? Because you don't have to pay taxes on a loan. Am I going too hard? Am I going too deep? Y'all would usually say pause on that. I would just say that's what she said. You guys, when you get in corporate America or when you create your own company, that's when you get really rich, is what I'm saying. When you get high in corporate America and you actually understand how to negotiate your pay packages, or you create your own company and you create a phenomenal pay package for yourself, that's how you get rich. You said you still in the UAW. I know I'm worth more. How do you know you're worth more? What makes you think that you're worth more? What actually tells you that you're worth more? I mean, it's not even about the money. I mean, Elon Musk can buy anything that he wants. I don't even think he cares about money like that anymore. But what I am saying is that we need to rethink, y'all. We got to think differently. We are in y'all think that we in a race war. And I titled this specifically because everything is always racist all the time. And the reason why it's always racist is because it's easier to distract you from things that's not adding value into your life if you say that something is racist. Now y'all can fight in the comments. We're going to fight on the Q show tonight. We're going to fight about the American jeans, American Eagle jeans. We're going to fight about eugenics. We're going to fight about race. We're going to fight about relationships. And when we get off of there, some people are going to be angry and they're going to be seething. And they're going to go and they're going to check the comments to see what people had to say about them. And they're going to go and say, Anton, I can't believe you. You must be simping. Meanwhile, I'm going to be taking my results from my insurance doctor's visit with my full panel, where it says, Anton, you perfect everything. You don't have nothing. You ain't got HIV. You ain't got hepatitis C. You ain't got your hemoglobin. A1C is perfect. Your triglycerides, your cholesterol, all of it is perfect. HIV negative is perfect. You can only be perfect or imperfect when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm going to be trying to figure out how to get more ownership, how to leverage this thing, how to run up a bag, how to get to this business. I want to see people's panel. I want to see your test results. I want to see what your vitals are. Got your vital results over here. Blood pressure, standard pulse, glucose, protein. They did urine tests. They did tests for hydrocodone. You see this? Let me show you what this says. Negative, 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 negative. See all of that? Negative, 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 negative. Let me see this. Let me take a picture of this. This is what I want your stuff to say. Take a picture and airdrop it to myself. When you do your panel for your STI and STDs, this is what I want your stuff to say. Why I say airdrop failed? If this is not what your stuff say when you do your full panel. Because the HIV one is the most important. That's the deadly one. Don't worry. I'm going to highlight all of them. If this is not what it say for yours, this is what I want. Because I got all of my insurance information. Got my address on here, all of that stuff. I don't want you to see my policy information. If this is not what your stuff say, negative, 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 negative. If your junk don't say negative, 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 I don't want to hear from you. I still got I'm getting over boxelitis. I'm getting over boxelitis. I think I'm the king of the industries now. Show me your panel. I want to see yours. Show me your panel. Show me what you got. Show me what you got, little mama. They gave me a check refund. Said we've been charging you too much for insurance. We thought you was going to be average like everybody else. Show me your panel. And we going to have a conversation. If you can't show me your full panel, I don't want to talk about it. And this is because I'm safe out here in these streets. This is because I'm safe out here in these streets. I don't deal with people like y'all deal with people. Anton, you a lame. Facts. Negative. I'm insurable, baby. I get a discount on my insurance. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got the Q show tonight, y'all. We got the Q show tonight. Ladies, I think I'm about to go back on the I Choose You 2 tour. Ladies, listen, you know when you get with Tom Dog, he's negative. Dog, I'm negative and I'm rich. Negative, and I'm rich. I'm going on the I Choose You 2 tour. Fall 2025. We coming through a city near you, and we negative. Great combination. Rich and negative. Let me read some of these super chats and see what's going on in these streets. I'm too pure to be standing next to some people. Oh, wait, what you got? Did you get your panel yet? That's how I'm going to be treating people this fall. Oh. Did you get a full panel? Did you get your panel yet? I can't shake hands. I can't kiss baby. I can't hug until people get a full panel. I'm too pure. Pure is a pure driven white snow. Too pure to be sitting there rubbing up against people. I ain't got time for this. Too pure. Ooh, did you cover your mouth? Because I got a negative panel. You know what I'm saying, J. Ben? You come sit on the black couch. This is the negative couch. J. Ben says, I do want to thank Ninjas for boycotting Target. I bought some great baggy jeans in there last week. My size was available too since the community boycott. Yeah. Purple Haze says, AD, do you think Magic Johnson's son could say... Oh, Magic Johnson will be picking up all of the toys that be get thrown on the court during the show. Let me stop. Eric Wolf Harris says, God bless me like you bless Elon. Yeah, well, we don't care. We don't want that level. We don't throw that level. Molly, what you think about my negative? Pay that man. Says Blueprint Tony. Pay that man. What you think about high-end yield dividend stocks? I don't. I just think you should invest in great companies. If they just so happen to pay a dividend, then that's fine. But don't invest in a company just because they pay high-yield dividends. I just had the son on a chick yesterday at the bar. I said I was proud to show my results on my chart. She was big mad and tried to call me a lame. I like being a lame. I like being a lame. I'm going to walk into heaven like, yo, God, have you seen my panel? It's crazy. Yo, Peter, show Jesus the panel, please. I just wanted to show him how good of a person I've been being throughout these streets. Yeah. Listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are the greatest audience on earth. I'm going to see some of y'all for the Patreon live stream tonight and the rest of y'all for the Q show tonight. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.